The man known as the demon of the battlefield tightly embraces the frail woman, who has drawn her last breath in his arms. His tears stream down endlessly. No matter how many times he returns to the past, the ending never changes. Every time she dies right before my eyes, if it must be. Like this, I would rather personally send her off myself. After hundreds of regressions, the demon of the battlefield realizes he can never save his beloved. In utter despair, he quietly walks alone into the village. Wherever he sets foot, crimson flames incinerate the earth until the entire empire is swallowed. As the flames consuming the empire gradually fade into black, ash, nothing remains. He does not hesitate to end his own life. The end. Thank you for loving the novel. Drawing the sword demands a cut until now. A person holding a phone shakes with emotion. Unbelievable. The black-haired girl trembles and bursts into tears, muttering to herself. In her 2 years as an editor, this is the first time she sheds tears over such an ending. Dear author, this is no longer a normal romance or fantasy story. Anymore, this is not just a bad ending but a complete disaster. The moment the other side picks up and says, "Hello," she immediately screams, "Author, what is this ending? It is completely different from our original plan. What kind of romance ends like this?" The author sips his coffee and calmly replies, "Because I like it. If you do not accept it, I will terminate the contract." She clutches her face and screams internally, causing passers-by to turn and stare. The pedestrian light turns green. She steps into the crosswalk, pleading softly, "Terminate the contract. Come on, author, don't do that. Let's meet up and talk. If things continue like this, the male lead will just go mad and destroy the world. Readers do not want that ending." Suddenly, she freezes, sensing something amiss. She slowly turns her head, her eyes locking in disbelief. She screams in terror, "Good heavens, are you insane?" She quickly darts to the side. "Hey, open your eyes when you drive. What are you thinking running a red light?" Before her curse can finish, a deafening crash resounds. The crowd erupts into chaos. "Are you okay? Someone got hit." In her fading consciousness, she thinks bitterly, "How annoying. If I knew, I would have preferred being hit by the truck of destiny instead. Getting hit by a blue sedan completely ruins my mood." Her eyes gradually close. In the pitch-black void, urgent voices echo. Suana, wake up. Quickly, are you getting up or what?" The silver-haired girl suddenly snaps her eyes open. Blonde girl screams, her eyes blazing with anger. "Today is your turn to clean." The silver-haired girl stands dazed, her gaze sweeping the surroundings. "Where is this and who am I?" The blonde girl pulls her arm, her voice irritated. "Is this how an apprentice Saintess behaves? Get up, hurry." She is stunned. "Wait, I'm an apprentice Saintess?" Clutching a laundry basket, she secretly scans her surroundings. The building is magnificent. Everything is made of pristine white structures. She glances around. Everyone wears the exact same neat uniform. So these are the so-called Saintesses. I have seen this kind of thing on the news before. If this is not a cult, I will stand on my head. Anyway, how did I become a Saintess? Named Suana, I remember calling the author on the street and then a car hit me. Since I am still conscious, I must not be dead yet. This is probably just a dream before I wake up. She sighs softly. Working as a romance editor has ruined me. Even my dreams are overly dramatic. I must request sick leave once I wake up. I wonder if a commute accident is covered by insurance. Suddenly, something catches her eye, drawing her attention. Back across from her, two Saintesses whisper to each other. "Really? I am telling the truth." That is exactly what happened. She thinks to herself, whether this is real or a dream, slackers exist everywhere. It really does not need to be this realistic. It is just a dream anyway, so worrying is useless. I will just wait quietly until I wake up. The two continue their endless whispering. "Have you heard? He is about to be knighted as a count, Lord Raphael Winters." Those words make her freeze. Her heart suddenly skips a beat. She drops her basket in shock. The other Saintess continues. "Ah, right. I heard he was granted the fief of King Crit or something like that." Suana rushes over, her voice trembling. "What did you two just say?" The black-haired girl barks. "Suana, what do you think you are doing? Have you still not learned your place?" Suana ignores her and screams, "I asked you what you just said." Suana's outburst leaves the other girl stunned and bewildered. She stammers, Lord Raphael Winters achieved great military merit in the recent war. He is coming to the Holy Temple to receive the title and territory granted by His Majesty." Suana gnashes her teeth, repeating word for word. The territory of King Crit." Suana realizes in horror that is the demon-infested land. Unable to believe her ears, Suana slaps herself hard across the face. The two girls scream in panic. Ah, what is wrong with her? I don't know, she has gone mad. She clutches her cheek and mutters, it hurts. The brown-haired girl fails to hear her clearly and asks blankly, huh, what, you suddenly? Suana grabs the black-haired girl by her collar. Immediately after, Suana screams, drawing the sword demands. A cut. The black-haired girl turns pale, stammering, what cut? The blonde girl rushes over to support her companion and barks, hey, do you not think you are going too far? Get over here and apologize properly. Suana bites her fingernails, lost in thought. Raphael Winters, King Crit. The demon-infested land. This is not a dream. She clutches her head in utter despair. I have transmigrated into a novel. I'm just a background extra in Drawing the Sword Demands a Cut. Suana collapses, her strength entirely drained. I was hit by a car while arguing about that nonsense ending. The male lead goes mad, incinerates the entire empire, and so on. But why does it have to be? This novel, Suana suddenly freezes as a realization hits her. Wait. Does that mean this place will also soon be? Reduced to a sea of fire by the male lead, Suana slams her forehead against the ground and wails, ah, what on earth did I do wrong to suffer like this? Author. The two girls gasp in panic. Huh, what is she talking about? God took 6 days to create the world and rested on the 7th, but that lunatic destroys it all in 7 days. This madman of a male lead is truly insane. Even Satan would have to bow to him as his disciple. Whether this is a dream or transmigration, if I sit idle, I will be consumed by that fiery doom. I must avoid it at all costs. A girl approaches and asks anxiously, hey, Suana, are you all right? I do not know what is troubling you, but there is surely a solution. Calm down. Suana mutters, a solution. Right, if I think carefully, there must be a way. While the girl is still coaxing her, saying, stop causing a scene and go back to your room, Suana suddenly leaps up and screams, I need to run away, leaving the girl agape. What? How can you utter such blasphemy? Even as a joke, you should not say that. Suana ignores her, thinking, if I stay here, I will only be waiting for death. According to her memory, Raphael regresses multiple times after being made a count. She does not know which regression this is, but if it is still before the conferment ceremony, there is still time before the sea of fire. Thus, the very first thing she must do is, having made up her mind, Suana turns and asks, how do I leave the holy temple? The black-haired girl is stunned. What? Were you actually serious about running away? Wake up, Suana. Do you know the consequences of a saintess abandoning God? You cannot simply quit being a saintess, so how do you plan to leave? These words make Suana freeze for a moment. Then a light bulb goes off. Suana beams and cheers, so I can leave if I just resign. The other two panic. What did you just say? Suana is bewildered. It is just a resignation. Why are they overreacting? Without another thought, she turns to leave. Anyway, I just need to walk out, right? I am leaving. Oblivious to what lies ahead, Suana collides head-on with someone walking toward her. Suana loses her balance and tumbles to the ground. The newcomer asks softly, leaving? Did I hear wrong? Suana, you just said you intend to leave the holy temple. Suana rests her chin in her hand, looking thoroughly exasperated. Judging by her appearance, this woman seems to hold a high rank here. In that case, I will just tell her straight. Suana replies bluntly, yes, I am leaving. Please step aside. Before she can finish her sentence, the woman suddenly lunges forward and snatches the necklace from Suana's chest. Then she declares coldly, when leaving this holy temple, you are not allowed to take anything, except for your worthless body that has betrayed God. After a moment of silence, Suana replies softly, I understand. The woman is taken aback. What did you just? Suana cuts her off. I said I will leave on my own 2 feet. Oh, so I do not need to use polite speech with you anymore, right? She sneers, her eyes full of smugness. Suana turns around and walks away, not forgetting to stick out her tongue to mock her. Suana departs decisively. Do you honestly think saying that will make me stay? The guards spot her and are struck dumb with shock. A guard quickly asks, Saintess, where are you going? As Suana dashes toward the gate, she shouts back, I am no longer a saintess. I quit. Suana leaps in joy. Ah, the sweet scent of freedom I have always yearned for. Meeting you people is truly a pain. Let us never meet again. However, reality is harsh. Once again, Suana is shaken awake. Suana, wake up. Are you getting up or what? She snaps, her eyes open in horror. What? Suana bolts upright, startling the blonde girl. Good heavens, the blonde girl screams. Are you insane? Why did you suddenly yell like that? Suana mutters in confusion. Wait, did I not just leave? The blonde Girl frowns in annoyance. What gibberish are you spouting? Do you think anyone can just walk out of the holy temple as they please? A weakling like you would be done for the moment you step outside. Suana is. Stunned, her voice trembling slightly, I am absolutely sure I left the holy temple. Her memories are crystal clear. There is no way it was just a dream. Yet the moment she stepped out of the holy temple, she was pulled back to the exact moment. She transmigrated into this body. No way. Just like Raphael Winters have I also regressed. Suana remains determined to leave. I am quitting. I am no longer a saintess. The blonde girl gasps. What? She quickly pulls Suana back. Hey, stop right there, she bellows. Who permitted you to just quit? Today is your turn to clean. Besides, how dare you leave while still wearing the saintess's necklace? Suana reaches up and clutches the necklace. Resting on her chest, she pouts, remembering how that high-ranking saintess snatched it away in her previous run. It is just a necklace. Why make such a big deal out of it? With that thought, Suana unclasps the necklace and shoves it at her. Fine, are you satisfied now? Stop bothering me. All you guys want is this necklace anyway, right? I am just borrowing these clothes. For now, the blonde girl stands in complete daze. I only used the necklace as a threat. Is she really just leaving? Suana runs off in a hurry. First, she must confirm whether she can truly leave the holy temple. If stepping outside triggers a regression, she will never escape the fiery. Doom, Suana squeezes her eyes shut in despair. If I die here, there might be no going back. It will be the end of me. I cannot let that happen under any circumstance. The familiar scene once again unfolds before her. The guard asks, Saintess, where are you going? Suana retorts, I quit. She darts past him so quickly that the wind blows the guard's wig. Clean off, he stands frozen, staring blankly at his wig rolling on the ground. Only after a while does he slowly kneel down to pick it up, muttering, Oh, I see. Suana charges straight ahead with unwavering determination. Even if she has doubts, they will chain. Nothing, she must test this theory herself. With that thought, Suana builds up momentum and leaps straight out of the cathedral. Suana lands safely, standing firmly on her feet. She pauses for a brief moment, then casts a quick glance behind her. Finally, she turns completely around to stare directly at the gates. Suana murmurs anxiously, I have left the holy temple and I did not regress. Regaining her composure, Suana flashes a blissful smile. Then my best option is to get as far away as possible. With that, she skips away lightheartedly. She thinks to herself, it seems, leaving the holy temple does not trigger regression. I ran as fast as I could just in case, but looking at the landscape before her, she knits her brows in confusion. Is this a village? Suana thinks. Perhaps I can gather some information here. It might help with my escape. The novel only ever mentioned the territory of King Crit, so I have absolutely no idea where I am. I will just wander around for a bit. Suddenly, a man bumps hard into her shoulder. Suana loses her balance and tumbles onto the ground. Instead of apologizing, he glares at her with deep annoyance. Suana clutches her throbbing shoulder and curses inwardly. Did he just click his tongue at me? What a lunatic. Just then, she hears him mutter, What bad luck. Suana instantly flares up. He's the one who ran into her, so how dare he act like this? Nearby, a young boy tugs at his mother's sleeve and points. Mom, look, the girl who just fell looks like a saintess. Look at the patterns on her clothes. The woman quickly covers the boy's mouth. SHH, be quiet, child. She glares at Suana with utter disgust. Someone without a saintess's necklace is no saintess. She is no different from a demon. Suana is horrified. Saintess's necklace. Wait, that necklace I just threw back to them. Suana clutches her head in frustration. Is his attitude like that simply because I am not wearing the necklace? Is this some kind of extremist cult? You are treated like a monster just because you lack a necklace. I have never heard of such a setting. The boy looks back and whispers, She really is strange. Mom is right. She must be a demon. No, wait. She suddenly freezes. Come to think of it, did Drawing the Sword Demands a Cut ever mention a saintess or a holy temple? It was supposed to be a story about the desperate love between a noble lady and a mad knight. Mid-thought, a stone flies out of nowhere and strikes her directly on her forehead. Suana looks down at her hand, her pupils contract in horror. Blood, the culprits are the villagers themselves. They scream in unison, Witch, get out of our village. Immediately go back to hell where you belong. How dare a witch like you walk openly on our streets? Suana is dumbfounded. She has no idea what is happening. She knows this novel inside out, and this setting simply does not exist. Is this really the world of drawing the sword demands a cut? Or have I wandered into the scripture of some strange cult? While running, she trips over a tree root. Suana falls face first to the ground in pain. She struggles to sit up and inspect her leg. Oh, it hurts so much, it is completely scraped. Why must this happen to her? At this moment, Suana suddenly recalls the blonde girl's words. Don't you know what happens to a saintess who betrays God? Someone like her the very moment she steps outside. Suana curls her lips into a smirk. So that is what they meant. At least they should have made it clear. Clear night falls. Suana's gaze is suddenly drawn to a house ahead. She frowns in curiosity. Where does this house come from? Anyway, just now this place had nothing but grass and trees. Despite her doubts, she still steps forward and knocks on the door. Perhaps because this is a novel, a house appears right when she is exhausted. She calls out softly, "Hello, is anyone inside? Sorry to bother you, but can I stay for the night?" Suana has no idea that beneath her feet something appears, before her words even finish, the door suddenly swings open. Suana is stunned. She stares in bewilderment as the door opens by itself. But Suana still pushes the door and steps inside. She whispers, "Excuse me." She speaks in a low voice, hesitant. "May I come in?" But Suana does not realize that before her eyes, countless dark shadows have already silently appeared. Suana looks around and sighs. There really is no one here. Suddenly, bam, the door behind her slams shut. She shrieks in fright. Suana reassures herself, though her heart is still pounding wildly. That scared her out of her wits. It must be just the wind. Does that mean this place is abandoned? Suana immediately flops onto the floor and sighs. Sigh whatever. She is too tired to care, even if the owner returns. She must sleep first. Just as she falls asleep, Suana mutters, "Whoever the owner is, I am sorry. I will clean up before I leave. Please let me stay for just one night." As she drifts off to sleep, she only wishes that everything will fade away like a dream. But Suana has no idea. In the darkness, countless eyes and hands silently reach toward her. The next morning, the sunlight shines directly into Suana's eyes, waking her up. She sits up and stretches. Sure enough, it is not a dream. Suana suddenly opens her eyes wide in surprise. She looks down at her clothes and frowns. What is this? It has only been one day. Why are they already so dirty? Suana stands up, dusts off her clothes, and mutters, "It must be because of the stoning yesterday. To make it worse, this cannot be washed. Why are these clothes white anyway?" Right then, her stomach suddenly growls. Suana walks away, entirely unaware that she has stepped on something. She rubs her stomach and sighs, "Just a little movement and I am already hungry. I wish there was something to eat around here. It would be so good. Now that I have rested enough, I will leave immediately." With that, she opens the door to step outside, completely unaware that dark shadows silently follow behind her. As she tries to close the door, she suddenly freezes. The door simply cannot be closed. The reason is a giant ghost blocking the door. Astonished, Suana exerts more strength to pull the door, but the ghost tightens its grip, holding the door so she cannot close it. In the end, it still cannot defeat Suana. With a loud slam, she forces the door shut. It growls in pain. Suana walks away, rubbing her arm and complaining, "Oh, come on, this door is horribly stuck." She does not see the ghost's severed hand trembling slightly behind her. "Hey, you!" A sudden shout rings out, drawing her attention. The man points at the house. "Did you just walk out of there?" Suana hesitates. "Me? Well. Yes," he screams in terror. "So you slept in there?" Suana hastily covers her face. "Ah, your spit is flying all over my face." "Already?" The middle-aged man asks rapidly. "Didn't you hear any strange noises, like dragging sounds or people crying?" She quickly waves her hands. "I didn't hear anything." He continues, "Or do you feel pain anywhere, like suffocating or being unable to move?" Suana is speechless. Hearing this, she feels a sense of familiarity. In times like this, running is the best option. With that thought, she immediately turns away. Behind her, the man still calls out, "Hey, where are you going? Are you sure you are really okay?" Suana rushes deep into the forest, frowning. "Ugh, how annoying. I am hungry and my time is wasted. Life is already hard enough. Let's never meet again." The next day, another person screams upon seeing Suana, You went into that house and are really fine." Suana thinks, is this place some kind of local urban legend? The day after that, the situation is exactly the same. Hey, why did you walk out from there? Didn't you hear anything inside? Suana yawns and replies casually, yes, I slept like a log. The following day, excuse me, could it be? Before he can finish, Suana cuts him off while picking her nose. I am not sick. I did not hear anything. My mind is completely clear. If you are not giving me money, please leave. Night falls once. More, Suana is so angry her eyes roll. Back, she looks up at the sky and screams, what on earth is going on? I am not a monkey in a zoo. Why does everyone ask me as if I am definitely sick? She snorts in frustration. Who would even like this place? Saying this, she flops down in frustration. Forget it. Thinking too much only makes me more tired. Please, I hope I wake up in my old world tomorrow. After she falls asleep, a pitch-black hand silently appears and slowly rests on her shoulder. More and more dark shadows appear silently. Surrounding her, it reveals sharp fangs slowly creeping toward her. The next morning, Suana is awakened by frantic knocking. On the door, she leaps up and hurriedly looks at the door. She worries, don't tell me. This house is not actually abandoned. At that thought, Suana is startled. Oh, first I must open the door. The moment she opens the door, Suana frantically blabs out, sorry, are you the owner? I am really sorry. I am not the type to arbitrarily enter other people's houses, but yesterday was an unavoidable situation. Saying this, she catches sight of the face of the person at the door and becomes speechless. Only a single thought remains in her mind. Oh, a rare, handsome guy. Next, he gestures and his two subordinates immediately seize her. Former Saintess Suana, you are under arrest on charges of being a witch serving evil spirits. Suana widens her eyes in terror. Huh, he explains. There are reports of a Saintess frequently entering and living in demon-possessed houses. Suana points at herself and screams, which hateful bastard reported a law-abiding citizen like me? And what demon? What is going on? This is not a horror mystery, this is a romance novel, Suana asks. Do you mean evil spirits and demons actually exist here? He points to the house in front of them, his voice icy. The house you just walked out of and all. The places you stayed before. Because they are possessed by demons, those are places where normal people would die. Upon approaching, Suana's lip twitches. She thinks to herself, delusions of grandeur are supposed to be for middle schoolers. Seeing her face, he coldly asks, why that expression, witch? Suana forces a smile and explains, no, it is just that this is too absurd. In this day and age, how can there be demons? She secretly adds, especially in a romance novel. At this, she screams angrily, how about this? Why don't you just say you saw them? The moment her words fall, the air instantly freezes. The two subordinates glance at each other, their eyes shaking. Only now does Suana feel fear. Is it true? He coldly orders, drag her away. Suana struggles relentlessly. No, I told you I am not a witch, let me go. Upon arrival, he ruthlessly pushes Suana forward. Then he respectfully reports, by your command, I have captured the demon's servant, great Saintess. She silently stares at Suana for a long time, then smiles gently. Well done, Holy Knight Commander Michael. He bows. It is nothing. I only did what a believer of Mondella should do. Just then, Suana speaks, drawing her attention. Excuse me, great Saintess. As you can see, I am truly wronged. Demon, witch. I know absolutely nothing about those things. Saying this, she quickly raises her hands and suggests politely, so if possible, can you untie me first? She approaches, looks down at her, and whispers, how pitiful. Because you are the demon's servant, you cannot be saved. Those words send a chill down Suana's spine. What? Suana screams. What is going on? Who is the demon's servant? She turns around with a meaningful smile. There is no other way. We must conduct the ritual. Suana is horrified and widens her eyes. Could it be? Suana stammers in horror. Is it the stake? Suana resists violently now. You lunatics, don't do this. I told you. I am not. This is absurd. Are you all crazy? The great Saintess smiles triumphantly. Suana looks at the torch in their hands, thinking, am I really going to die like this? What did I do wrong? I only wanted to live. Suana screams in panic. Hey, you there, don't light the fire, don't light it. I am really not a witch. I will sue all of you at the Human Rights Commission. You damn extras, do you think you will be safe forever? The time will come. Sooner or later, this place will turn into a sea of fire. Suana winces and screams, so hot, please someone, anyone. Put out the fire. Before the triumphant smile of the great Saintess, her voice fades in despair. Put out the fire. Suana's vision slowly blurs, her consciousness slips away. She whispers weakly. Please, Suana suddenly opens her eyes wide. In horror, the blonde girl glares at her and barks. How much longer are you going to lie there? It is your turn to clean today. Suana breaks out in a cold sweat. What just happened? The feeling of being in the sea. A fire is still vivid. Did she return again? Suana calls Iro in a trembling voice. Iro looks at Suana in confusion. Huh? Suana asks urgently. Have you ever seen a witch trial? Iro frowns in confusion. Why are you asking that out of nowhere? Did you have a nightmare? Iro recalls, I have seen it. Maybe twice when I was a child, both were. Saintesses, they were burned at the stake for running away, unable to bear life in the holy temple. Iro raises an eyebrow. But you are not planning to use a nightmare as an excuse to slack off. Are you? Suana clenches her fists in tension. She thinks, if she keeps returning like this, even if she dies, she will never escape until this novel ends. Right? Iro stares thoughtfully at Suana, her eyes slightly scanning her. Iro suddenly snaps. Hey, after asking, you ignore me. Do you think being a baron's daughter means you can do whatever you want? No matter what tricks you play, you are just an apprentice saintess who cleans all day like me. If you understand, go clean up now. Seeing Suana remain silent, she scowls. Look at you. Suana can no longer hold back. She explodes. Clean, clean, clean. Do you only know how to clean? Iro flinches. Suana leaps off the bed, grabs her shoulders, and shakes her violently. I am also a saintess like you, not your personal maid. Suana is startled and steps back stunned. Are you crying? Iro sobs, her voice trembling. For the past few days, you had a high fever and almost died. I had to do your share of the work for 10 days straight, yet you still ignore me. Last night, I was so scared. You look like you stopped breathing. Suana scratches her chin, thinking, every time I wake up, it is exactly at this time. Does that mean the original Suana actually died? How troublesome, but she must have suffered a lot. Suana steps closer, places her hand on her shoulder, and smiles. Sorry, for the next 10 days, I will do your share of the work, too. Iro is stunned. Really? Suana nods. Of course, you just need to show me everyone's duties. After all, you know the temple better than me. Iro pouts, but still listens. A moment later, Iro speaks. HMPH, the bottom of the barrel, finally has some sense. Let's start working then. Let's start with the kitchen. We have to clean that place today. Yes, I am counting on you, senior. Suana walks behind, thinking, as long as I win the trust of the people in the holy temple and gather enough information, I will definitely escape this damn cult. Outside the holy temple, Suana sweeps trash. In the front courtyard, Suana stops and wipes the sweat from her forehead, looking at Iro. She thinks, thanks to Iro, who is delighted to be called senior, she explains everything to me. She even finds out the archives where the records of the saintesses are kept. The problem is, as an apprentice saintess, she has no right to enter. What should she do? Haven't you noticed she is more hardworking lately? Hearing this, Suana immediately pricks up her ears. She hides behind a pillar to eavesdrop. One asks, who? The other replies, the Baron's daughter. Ah, the bottom feeder, but she actually is not the Baron's daughter. Suana is stunned. What? Suana is not his biological daughter. The Saintess asks what she means. I heard the Baroness had an affair, so he did not acknowledge her, nor did he let her take his last name. He even locked her in the attic until she was 9, and then sold her straight to the temple as soon as she turned 10. If she were really his biological daughter, would he do that? True. She silently leaves, thinking. Suana, she did not expect her to have such a past. Whether it is the former owner of this body or her surviving in this trashy world, both are equally hard. Suddenly, the head chef walks in and calls out, Suana, Suana, are you there? Suana steps forward and asks, are you looking for me? Pow Pow is delighted. Ah, here you are. Where are you cleaning tomorrow? Suana replies, the library. He asks anxiously, when are you coming back to the kitchen? Those others cannot even do a fraction of what you do. Suana is embarrassed. Chef, please do not be hard on them. I was just lucky to meet your standards. To be able to help you, the one in charge of meals for the entire temple, I am truly grateful. Pow swells with pride looking at her. He asks, how old are you? She replies, I will be 18 next month. Pow steps forward and whispers in her ear, I will speak with Barbara so you can be appointed as an official saintess when you come of age. Remember that. Suana modestly shakes her head. That? An official saintess, how could someone like me dare accept? He replies, come on, Suana, you are too modest, just trust. I depart. Suana feigns fluster and calls out. But in her heart, she is 1,000,000% certain it will happen. In the previous loop, she also became an official saintess. In the end, just how many loops has it been? To become an official Saintess, she must appear extremely diligent and obedient. She must make everyone recognize her face. She even has to show a terrifying level of devotion. She only needs to stand before the prayer room every night, pretend to be sincere, and shed a few tears. The high priestess will appear with a fake smile. The next day, she will receive her appointment. Damn it, it is the same every single time. The issue is what comes after. The high priestess smiles at her, saying, "Swana, may the light of Mondala always watch over you." Then a stream of that light slowly drifts toward her. It lands on the back of her right hand. Immediately afterward, a six-pointed star symbol appears on her hand. Swana flinches from the burning heat. She quickly presses her other hand over it to smother it. Everyone turns to look in shock. Immediately they draw their swords and point them straight at her. Death by the pain of the holy relic. However, after countless regressions, she can easily endure something as simple as being burned by fire. Now the high priestess smiles with satisfaction. Swana nods back. She thinks it is incredibly troublesome. Only after regressing multiple times does she realize the only way to safely leave the holy temple is to participate in the purification ritual, a mission exclusive to official saintesses. While she changes her clothes, the high priestess reminds her that the count's investiture ceremony will take place tomorrow morning, since this is her very first event as an official saintess she must attend. Swana bows respectfully, saying, "Yes, this disciple understands, high priestess." She thinks to herself, it is indeed a long journey. As soon as the high priestess's ceremony ends, she will accept the purification mission and immediately flee from the holy temple. At least that is what she thinks. The next morning at the holy temple, everyone gathers to welcome the arriving count. The moment she sees the newcomer, Swana panics. So the main character of today's ceremony is you. Raphael Winter, someone speaks up. Today is a day of great celebration. A hero of the Empire, one who established glorious achievements on the battlefield, is granted the title and territory of King Chris, Lord Raphael Winter. The atmosphere suddenly turns silent. Swana looks at Raphael with tension. What is he doing? He should just say his thanks and get it over with. The high priestess speaks. Count Raphael Winter, may you forever serve the Empire with loyalty. Raising her hand, the high priestess continues, May the supreme being in heaven and the light of Mondala forever bless you. Swana starts and looks at Raphael. What is this? What is going on? He is staring directly at her, is he not? That gaze is terrifying, exactly the face of someone who could destroy the world. Swana quickly turns her face away. She thinks, I am not bowing my head out of fear. Causing trouble now is just a waste of energy. Raphael stares coldly at her. Not long after, inside a cave, Swana hums as she walks. The guard warns, please watch your step, Saintess. She replies, yes, I understand. The guard walks ahead. Swana wonders what on earth is there to purify in this place. No matter how she looks at it, it is just an ordinary cave. Regardless, purification is not her real goal. Now that Raphael Winter has received his title, time is running out. She must leave before he goes mad and burns the entire empire to ashes. Lost in thought, Swana carelessly misses the rock beneath her feet. Seeing her fall face first, the guard cries out in panic, Saintess. He asks with concern, are you all right? Swana grimaces, I am fine, it is just a minor scratch. He looks at her wound and says with worry, as Saintess, the wound, it. Then he shouts, this is bad, please let us leave this place immediately. Swana asks in confusion, huh? He claims that demons love the scent of blood and urges her to leave. Swana is speechless at these fanatics, but she must keep up the act. Swana sheds streams of tears and chokes out, Sir Molly's, it is too late. Please leave me behind and run. I will only attract the demons. He protests, I cannot abandon the Saintess and escape alone. Ah, Sir Molly's, how brave, the light of Mondala is shining upon you. She clasps her hands in prayer. O Supreme Being who watches over us amidst chaos, glorious and radiant Mondala, you demand devotion, and this humble one answers with eternal faith. The moment her words fall, golden lights begin to appear. He looks at her in surprise, asking, what is this? Swana sighs inwardly with boredom. What a fool, look at his face. Does he truly believe that miracles simply happen by praying? Swana continues her prayer. No place lies beyond the gaze of Mondala, nor does any place exist outside your protection. The guard immediately lifts her up. He says, please continue the purification ritual so we can leave this place together. Suana thinks the first time she gets carried princess style is by this. Fool, how annoying, outside the cave. Everyone is waiting. Someone points to the entrance and stammers, seeing the two. Step out, they rush over. Suana continues to pray. Every path that guides me brings me closer to you. Suana looks at them and thinks, in this cult, the fact that she got injured but still left safely is seen as a rare miracle. Her so-called devotion is praised even more. Suana sighs, what is this? Is it really worth making such a fuss? Since that day, they dispatch her to an even more dangerous place. The guard says, we rely on you again for this purification mission, Saintess. Suana laments inwardly. She should have run straight out of the cave back then, if she does not want to be burned again. She has no choice but to keep pretending to be diligent. Suana rests her chin on her hand and wonders, are there really monsters or spirits here? This sword and magic world has no mystical lore, yet rumors of demons are endless while she has never seen one. In a small cabin in the forest, Suana approaches an old woman. She thinks to herself she already burned that doll, so the purification is done. Stepping in front of the old lady, she says, the purification ritual is complete. May the Lord always be with us. The old woman replies with gratitude, ah, thank you very much, Saintess. Saintess, I promise. Saying this, she hands her a small cloth pouch. Suana immediately declines. Oh no, I do not do this for material wealth. But the old woman still forces the pouch into her hand. No, please accept it. On the outside, Suana looks hesitant, but in her heart she rejoices. Hee, thank you, old lady, on her. Way back, Suana thinks, purification in this world is no different from exorcism back home. Thanks to these donations, her escape fund is complete. Counting today, she can leave immediately. Suddenly, a voice calls out. Saintess Suana turns to look. The man says, forgive me for my late arrival. Seeing him, Suana thinks it is him again. The man who follows her every time she goes out. He steps forward and introduces himself. It is an honor to meet you. I am the commander of the Holy Knights. Michael Severino. Suana smiles and replies, yes, it is an honor to meet you. In her heart, she curses. It is him, the man who falsely accused her of heresy and burned her to death during her first life. Michael reports, by order of the High Priestess, I have secured the area around the purification site. Suana feigns gratitude. With the support of the High Priestess and the commander, I should offer a prayer before we begin. But in her heart, she curses them, hoping the old woman and this hateful man die miserable deaths. Michael replies, thank you, Saintess. Michael suggests, let us go, I shall lead the way. She replies politely, yes, please. Suana adds in her mind, I hope he trips and falls. He leads her to an abandoned house. She notes with joy that this is the very house she stayed at during her first escape from the Holy Temple. A golden opportunity to run. Suana steals a glance at Michael as he speaks. Previously, when other saintesses entered this manor, they were all possessed by evil spirits and met tragic deaths. Therefore, if you sense any evil energy, retreat immediately. If you are corrupted, I will have no choice but to execute you myself. Michael glances at Suana as she replies, that will not happen. The great Mondala is always with me. Michael says nothing. He only watches her. Suana enters the house. Through the window, she glares out in anger. That pest. She barely managed to stop him from coming inside. She observes the house and whispers, I thought this place only had one floor, but there is a second floor. She lifts her skirt and walks upstairs. There is even furniture. It seems someone once lived here. Pulling open a drawer, she gasps, oh, there are clothes here too, a true blessing. She changes into the clothes and observes herself. All right, wearing this, I probably do not look like a saintess anymore, right? She remembers the kitchen has a back door. Going that way will avoid his line of sight. Suana looks around to search. Found it. Her hand trembles as she reaches for the door. She slowly pulls it open. She thinks once she opens this door, she can say goodbye to this damn cult forever. The space is so quiet that she can only hear the sound of her own thoughts. Suana slowly steps out of the house. Suddenly, she flinches in shock. A pair of feet appears before her. Suana bows her head in anxiety. She lifts her head to investigate, filled with dread. Damn it, she is caught, that holy knight. How did he find out? Wait. Seeing clearly who the newcomer is, Suana freezes on the spot. Suana points her finger at him and stammers. "Why are you here?" Raphael quickly steps forward and covers her mouth. Next, he draws his sword and rests it against Suana's neck. Raphael reveals a devilish smile, just as I thought. You do not fear death. Raphael releases his hand from her mouth and threatens, "Scream and you die, you wretched little saintess." Suana frowns in confusion. Why do you do this to an ordinary saintess who spends all day inside the temple? If you kill me, the holy night with me will execute. You, he sneers. Is that so? What is the big deal about killing a saintess who fled because she could not bear the curse? Suana gnashes her teeth inwardly. Damn it, he is right. Suana asks anxiously, then what do you want with me? Raphael muses. Indeed, it was not an illusion back at the temple. She does not fear him at all. In fact, she despises him. Even though they have never met, Suana does not back down. Private contact between Count Winter and the Saintess is forbidden. I will call the Holy Knight immediately. Raphael warns, I already said scream and you die. Suana retorts, who cares? You are the one obstructing my work. She thinks even if I die here, I can just start over. It will only be extremely annoying. Raphael sneers. Obstructing? Then let me ask why you are wearing something other than a saintess's robes. During duty hours, he adds, especially something covered in the resentment of the dead. Those words fill her with secret dread. Resentment of the dead. Can he see those things too? Never mind. It has nothing to do with her. She should leave. Thinking this, she quietly takes a step back. Raphael slowly takes another step forward. Suana speaks in a low, helpless voice. Move. Raphael asks softly, where do you think you are going? She snaps in irritation. What does it have to do with you? Get out of my way. Raphael observes her and concludes, Ah, are you possessed by an evil spirit? Those steps are not yours. Saintess Suana panics and raises her hand to stop him. No, listen to me first. But he still asserts, you are merely acting under the will of the evil spirit. Inside those clothes, unable to hold back any longer, her anger erupts. Suana delivers a swift kick to his leg. She gnashes her teeth and curses inwardly. Enough of this nonsense. Listen to me, you damn male lead. Raphael dazes slightly from the kick. Then he displays a half-smile. He dusts off his pants and sneers, I knew it. Raphael looks at her. You are certainly no ordinary saintess. Suana snaps in annoyance. Wipe that obnoxious smirk off your face. It is sickening. What on earth did you see at the investiture ceremony to act like this? Raphael looks at her silently, uttering no words. Suana can only force a smile. Suddenly, a vision flashes through her mind. She thinks to herself, when she ignored her words that day, did she feel this way too? Thinking of this, Suana points directly at Raphael and yells, Count, you have no friends, do you? You have never had a proper conversation with anyone either, right? Raphael gnashes his teeth and asks back in a cold voice. What did you say? Suana points right at him and speaks rapidly. You do not understand others. You do not know how to communicate. Every time you speak, you freeze the atmosphere, do you not? If you want to gather information, learn how to talk. Did no one teach you when you became a count? She thinks to herself that she is only saying this, but he was not always like this. Back when he was a guardian knight, Raphael Winter's first regression began after the death of Lady Celendia Dawson, whom he risked his life to protect. He turns back time hundreds of times to save her, but the outcome is always failure. Despising the endless loop, his emotions gradually rot and corrupt, and finally, afterward, the regressions do not end. He remains trapped in the loop, ultimately turning into a monster. Why does someone who harbors such extreme hatred for humanity appear before her? Raphael asks, at the investiture ceremony, why were you there? Suana replies nonchalantly, because I am a high-ranking saintess. Raphael immediately counters. Impossible, that is not the position. Your mind? Suana starts in surprise. Oh no, she thinks. Raphael probably underwent that knighthood ceremony multiple times, and someone else always stood there in her place. Damn it, what should I say now? She does not want to get involved with him anymore. Suana retreats while responding, I do not understand what you are saying. At this moment, Michael calls out loudly to the Holy Maiden. Suana, Holy Maiden Suana, what is the matter? Suana thinks tensely, oh no, I stalled for too long. By now I should have already escaped to the village gate. Suana whips around. Her eyes burn with rage as she glares at Raphael. She then regains her composure and says, I do not understand why you treat me Like this, Count, I only intend to perform the cleansing ritual in these clothes to drive away the evil spirits. Having said this, she clasps her hands. And prays, Raphael remains stubborn. Is that so? Are you not planning to escape? Suana does not want to argue further, so she turns to enter the house. You misunderstand, Count. I hope we do not meet again. Raphael asks. You said your name is Suana, correct? This causes her to freeze. He looks at her and asks further, do you want to leave the holy temple? Suana forces a strained smile and replies, of course not. Raphael says nothing. He only stares at her. His gaze is heavy with pressure. Suana hastily runs away. In her heart, she curses. Damn it, I missed my chance to escape. Outside, Michael knocks on the door repeatedly. Holy Maiden, Suana, I am coming in. She gasps and shouts, wait, I am still praying. Her heart panics. Heavens, why is this guy so impatient? Right as she kneels, Michael pushes the door open and enters. Holy Maiden, he asks urgently. Are you all right? At this moment, Suana is focusing intently on her prayers. Seeing him enter, she still smiles and replies, yes, I am fine, Commander. In her mind, she mutters, next asterisk. Time, I must run faster. Seeing her entire body amid a divine light, Michael is dazed for a long moment. Only after a while does he regain his senses. Holy Maiden, these clothes are? Suana remains silent, smiling as she ponders her answer. After a few seconds, she bows her head and says, an extremely powerful evil spirit resides in these clothes. And ordinary prayers cannot cleanse it. I thought that if I wore it myself and prayed, it might be effective. However, it seems my strength is still insufficient. Michael shakes his head slightly in admiration. The fact that you are not possessed by it is already respectable. Now you should come out. You have prayed longer than the permitted time. Hearing this, Suana is slightly startled. Does he suspect me? I must push this situation further. Thus she says, Grand Holy Night, this place is too dangerous. We must cleanse it as soon as possible, perhaps even tomorrow. Before she can finish, Michael interrupts. But you have overexerted yourself today. For now, you must rest. Suana cries out pleadingly. No, I cannot do that. I cannot ignore the will of the god because of my personal reasons. Michael freezes again. The disdain in his eyes diminishes. He says respectfully, in that case, please accompany me at the earliest possible time. Suana bows her head. I am very grateful. Having said this, the two fall silent, staring at each other. After a long moment, Suana says awkwardly, I need to change before returning. Michael also shows some embarrassment. Then I will wait. Outside, please come out when you are finished. Saying this, he closes the door. Suana quickly calls out after him, thank you for your understanding. Once he is gone, her face twists in disgust. This guy is excessively serious. Next time I will definitely succeed. Thinking of this, Suana suddenly notices something. She frowns and walks toward the paper lying on the floor. She bends down to pick it up, murmuring to herself, what paper is this? The quality is exceptionally high. The moment she opens it, Suana freezes. The paper reads, if you return again, come find me. After reading the content, she raises an eyebrow and thinks, when did this lunatic slip this in? Not long. Afterwards, back at the holy temple, Suana worries that he is certain she has regressed. She does not want to get involved with him, fearing it will drag out the storyline and delay her escape from here. She throws the crumpled letter into the burning fireplace, thinking, I have no time for this. I must leave this damn novel as soon as possible. In Suana's heart, a memory of her past life in a sea of fire suddenly surfaces. Her mother asks loudly, darling, where is our daughter? Did you get her out of the small room? Her father replies, I have her. Get out quickly too, hurry. At this point, she snaps back to reality, her hand unconsciously clenches. I must return. I have things to ask my parents. At this point, Suana mutters to herself, the next place to cleanse is Floriana, right? She sits down and removes a brick with her hand, revealing a hidden compartment with some essential items. While examining the map, Suana recalls Pao showing her the locations of the Holy Temple and the Floriana port. Back then, she asked, wow, what is this black part here? And what is this? He looked blankly at her and asked, you do not even know nautical chart symbols? Suana acted innocent. But the sea is blue. Pao patted her head and said with a smile, do you find maps interesting? I will bring more for you to look at later. Suana replied with a bright smile, really? I am so happy, thank you. In her heart, she thought, great, I have a map now. This is the reason why this map is in her hands. The next day, the cleansing journey begins again. Suana carries her suitcase and slowly walks toward the gate of the holy temple. On the way, a voice calls out, "Lady Suana!" She turns around and calls out in surprise, "Ah, Sir Malik." He runs over with a smile. "You are up so early, just thinking about accompanying the devout holy maiden for a cleansing fills me with faith." Suana flashes a fake smile. "Me too, sir. Malik, I look forward to your help today." Suana thinks that if Malik gets scared and runs away again, she will escape too. On the outside, she encourages him to face the challenge together. Malik happily offers to carry her luggage. Right at that moment, another voice sounds. Malik stops, walking over from the distance is the person Suana absolutely detests, the Grand Holy Maiden. She speaks. "The holy knight who will accompany Holy Maiden Suana for the cleansing today is Michael Severino." Malik is bewildered. "Huh, is it not me?" Michael interjects. "That is correct. There has been a change." The Grand Holy Maiden calls out to Holy Maiden Suana. She responds, "Yes, Grand Holy Maiden." She adds, "Floriana is a gloomy place. I believe it is more appropriate for the commander of the Holy Knights himself to go." "Is that not right?" Seeing the smile on her face, Suana suddenly feels a shiver run down her spine. She quickly regains her composure and bows, saying, "No matter where I go or whom I accompany, I am merely fulfilling my mission to convey the will of Mondala." The Grand Holy Maiden says with satisfaction, "Then please do your best with the upcoming schedule, Holy Maiden Suana. Commander, escort Holy Maiden Suana to the carriage immediately." He replies respectfully, "Yes, Grand Holy Maiden." Anger flickers in Suana's eyes. She thinks to herself, that damn cult leader. If I go with him, it will be hard to escape. After a while, inside the carriage, Suana stares at the opposite side. She thinks to herself, why is he riding in the carriage with me instead of on a horse? How annoying. Noticing her gaze, Michael asks, "Does my presence make you uncomfortable?" Suana quickly smiles and replies, "No, it is better than traveling alone." He nods. "Is that so? Then you also know that holy knights have a duty to protect the holy maiden?" Suana maintains her smile. "Yes, but why do you ask?" That, Michael leans forward slightly, that means they also act as watchdogs to ensure the holy maiden cannot escape. Hiding the guilt in her eyes, Suana slowly asks, "But Lord Michael Severino, the word escape is usually used when fleeing from something negative." He raises an eyebrow and asks, "Is it not?" She shakes her head, showing an innocent expression. "But the holy temple is a sacred place, is it not? I do not think that term is appropriate." Michael freezes for a few seconds, then leans back against the seat. "You are right. The holy temple is the home of the holy maidens and a sacred sanctuary to serve the god. The reason I mention this is because there have been cases where, after a long journey, a holy maiden and a holy knight disappear together." Suana chuckles inwardly. "Ah, so these cultists are not on guard because they think I will flee. They are afraid Malik will seduce me and we will elope together. Do I look like the type of person who would fall for such a fool?" She then pretends to cry out in agitation. "Holy knights and holy maidens are both chosen children of the god. Allowing their hearts to align and spark romantic feelings is unacceptable." Michael strokes his chin, looking thoughtful. I share the same view." Suana continues. "Betraying the will of the god is unforgivable." Michael adds, "They are living war demons who must be pursued to the end and executed with the holy sword." Suana rests her chin on her hand and smiles. Is that so? In her heart, she wonders if she could even survive if she actually escapes. At this point, she suddenly says, "Come to think of it, with you becoming the commander of the Holy Knights at such a young age, did you want to be a holy knight since childhood?" Michael answers, "When I was young, my parents abandoned me at the gates of the holy temple. Thanks to that, I was raised under the protection of Mondala." Suana continues, "I see. As for me, my parents told me that I had to become a holy maiden, so I came to the holy temple." Hearing her words, Michael falls silent for a moment. Then he asks curiously, "Have you ever thought about not being a holy maiden?" Suana ponders for a moment and replies, "Well, I am satisfied with my current life." She then acts surprised. "Oh, are you perhaps unsatisfied with your current life, Lord Michael Severino?" He immediately replies, "Not at all. I believe this is my calling." She smiles and says, "I think so too." In her heart, she muses, what an admirable holy knight. He only looks about 5 or 6 years older than me. How is his faith so solid? Or is he brainwashed? A few days later at the Floriana port, Michael leads a group of alert knights forward. Among the group, someone clasps their hands in prayer, Hail Mondala. Behind them, Suana comfortably looks around. The smell of the sea. Pao said this is a chaotic port city, but there is no one in sight and it is eerily quiet. At that moment, Michael suddenly calls out, Holy Maiden Suana, do you also sense the evil spirit? She immediately composes herself. Stay sharp, play the role well. She then nonchalantly says that this place is filled with evil energy and asks if they should begin the cleansing prayer immediately. Michael's voice suddenly drops. Holy Maiden, do you not hear the screams of the evil spirit as if it wants to tear your eardrums apart? Suana closes her eyes and clasps her hands with utmost sincerity. I only hear the call of Mondala, he ponders and says. This is the center of the town, summoning all the evil spirits even with the power of a holy maiden is very difficult, Suana calmly steps forward. Even so, Commander, I believe I must do what I can as it is. My duty, Michael pauses again. At her words, he turns around and says, Cleansing is important, but there is no need to put yourself in danger. Please follow me. Suana respectfully replies, Yes, I understand. The knights whisper praises for Suana, making her inwardly pleased, because her performance as the Holy Maiden is quite a success. Not long after, Michael leads her to a building. After entering, the knights immediately cough violently. Suana cannot help but feel suspicious. What is wrong with them? Are they just tired from the long journey? At that moment, Michael speaks. Holy Maiden, you can begin as soon as everything is prepared. And done, Suana nods. Yes, I understand. As she kneels, she ponders. Come to think of it, even in the carriage, he kept testing me. It seems he suspects that I cannot see the so-called asterisk. Evil spirits. Fine, I will show him a grand cleansing performance. I just need to mumble some random scriptures, right? As soon as she recites the scriptures, Michael shouts, Everyone brace yourselves. The surrounding knights collapse to their knees and shout loudly, Commander, if this continues. Seeing this, Michael immediately raises his hand. In the blink of an eye, he creates a dome-shaped barrier covering the knights. Immediately after, the dome suddenly cracks. Michael frowns and groans, Ugh! At the same time, a dark figure suddenly erupts behind him. Michael senses the malice and instantly turns around. The evil spirit is already beside him. Michael instantly swings his sword, unleashing a tyrannical wave of sword chi. His body glides past the evil spirit. The knights in the rear cry out in panic, Commander. Michael turns his head and shouts, Retreat! Protecting the Holy Maiden is the top priority, hurry! As soon as his words fall, a warm, divine light suddenly surges, enveloping the entire room. Michael looks in daze toward Suana. On the other side, she clasps her hands tightly, her entire body erupting with a surge of divine light. At the same time, she recites the final scripture, and Mondala responds, O warriors! My soldier, I am always with you. With those words, Suana stands up. She walks over to Michael and speaks softly, I. Michael lets out a soft gasp. In his heart, he thinks, So this is Suana. She smiles and continues, The cleansing prayer is complete, Captain of the Holy Knights. He dazes, thinking to himself, a true saintess. With her task complete, Suana boards the carriage to depart for the Holy Temple. On the way back, Michael rides his horse close beside the carriage, making Suana feel extremely uncomfortable. Noticing her pale complexion, Michael worries and suggests, Let us rest for a moment. Your condition does not look good. Suana turns to him and replies, Ah, yes, that sounds good. Michael orders the carriage to stop for a rest. The knights obey. Suana knows she is not tired, she is just pressured by his gaze. The carriage slowly comes to a halt. Suana opens the carriage door and steps outside. The moment her foot touches the carriage step, she sees Michael's face. He smiles, acting friendly. The ground is wet, be careful not to slip. As you step down, Suana extends her hand. Thank you, sir. The knight captain smiles on his face. But she curses him in her heart. What a bizarre man. He must have verified something during the cleansing prayer just now. At the same time, she wonders if her acting was good enough, even though she only half-hearted it. Having reached this place, she walks over to the edge of the forest to breathe the fresh air. At the same time, Michael thinks to himself, if his guess about Saintess Suana is correct in the near future. Suana stretches, wondering in her heart, I must escape quickly. Is there really no other way? Michael continues to think. With her aura full of devotion, she might inherit the position of the great Saintess. Perhaps her power even surpasses the great Saintess. At this point, he suddenly snaps out of his thoughts. He wonders in shock if a lack of cultivation is causing him to have such devilish thoughts. After all, is the only loyal spokesperson of Moanala not the great Saintess? Right at that moment, a scream suddenly rings out. Help me, please save me. Michael is stunned and asks, what is that? Calm down, what is the matter? The woman with disheveled hair cries out, the person behind you, she is a high Saintess, right? We need the Saintess's prayer. Michael tries to reassure her, calm down. To receive a Saintess's prayer, one must report to the holy temple and wait for their turn. Woman screams, but my child went out to play and has not returned home yet. As she lifts her head, the knights suddenly feel a chill run down their spines. Michael also dazes for a moment. He closes his eyes and exhales a breath. He then turns to ask, what do you think? Saintess Suana calmly asks back, about what? Michael points at the woman. We cannot delay for long, but can we spare some time? To help this person, Suana frowns, a dazed look on her face. Captain Michael, what have you and the knights been doing this whole time? He stares at her blankly, He then hurriedly spins around, looking. At the empty space between the knights, Michael is startled. She is gone. He screams urgently, this is bad, Saintess Suana, run. At the same time, from the shadows, a crazed voice echoes. Save me again, once more, please. Suddenly, Michael is lifted into the air and thrown to the side. The moment he hits the ground, a hand tightly squeezes his neck. Michael begins to struggle. He cries out tremblingly, cough. Don't. Seeing this, Suana screams. Let go, Michael. Why are you strangling yourself? Wake up. Gritting his teeth, he thinks, I am strangling myself. Is this evil spirit casting an illusion on the Saintess? Michael is then pulled into the once more, he thinks in rage, damn it, my body cannot muster any strength. If only I can pry this hand off. Right at that moment, the sword hanging at his waist suddenly falls. Michael cries out in panic, the sword! Saintess, the sword! Suana replies in confusion, ah, yes. She quickly runs over, picks up the sword, and holds it out with both hands. Then Suana suddenly freezes. She cries out in alarm, Michael, in her heart she wonders what on earth is going on. Why is he doing this? Is he controlled by an evil spirit? Wait, is this not the perfect opportunity to escape? With this thought, she takes a step back. He is the man who burned her on the pyre time and time again. She has absolutely no reason to save him, not even a single reason exists. Right at that moment from behind her, a hand suddenly appears. As Suana spins around in shock, Raphael speaks, Saintess, if you have picked up the sword, you must draw it. As he speaks, he draws his sword. With a swift asterisk whoosh asterisk, the invisible evil spirit in Suana's eyes is slashed into two halves. Michael immediately coughs up a mouthful of black blood. His body crashes to the ground, eyes shut tightly, collapsing to the side unconscious. Only now does Suana react. Hearing her call, Raphael turns his head to look at her. After a few seconds, Michael suddenly groans softly. Raphael immediately lifts his foot and kicks him in the chest. Michael groans again, his pale face contorting in pain, yet showing no sign of waking. Seeing this, Suana is startled. Did you kill him? Raphael calmly replies, he only fainted. Hearing this, she exhales a sigh of relief. What on earth is happening? Raphael cannot help but feel curious. I heard you wander around performing those cleansing rituals, but is this your first time encountering something like this? Suana nods. Everything happened too fast. He chuckles. Seriously, are you really a saintess? You cannot do anything right, yet you go around performing cleansings. The words just leave his mouth when the wail of an evil spirit echoes in his hand. Raphael immediately grips his sword hilt, his face turning serious. Anyway, do not let that rigid captain know I intervened, understand? At the same time, a shroud of mist suddenly rises around them, leaving Suana stunned. When did this mist get here? Seeing her looking around, Raphael asks again. Hey, Suana, are you listening to me? In the next second, Suana collapses to the ground and screams, ah! At this moment, even Raphael is startled. He stammers, "Hey, Saintess, what are you doing? Are you afraid of mist? There is nothing here anymore. Are you possessed?" In her panic, Suana cries out tremblingly, "I want my child here. Father, mother, take me with you. It is too hot. Let me go, take me with you. Save me." Seeing her thrashing in despair, Raphael is briefly stunned. "I understand, so let go." As he speaks, he grabs her wrist. At the same time, Suana's hand suddenly radiates a holy light. The entire space suddenly becomes so silent that Raphael can hear the sound of a stream flowing in the distance. He thinks in astonishment, it is so quiet. I have repeated this life hundreds of times, but never have I seen the world this quiet. Just as he is immersed in this rare peace, Suana suddenly cries out, It hurts." Raphael snaps awake immediately. Instantly, he lets go of her hand. Suana is flung backward, letting out a painful cry. "Ah!" Raphael walks over and asks indifferently, "Are you better?" Suana crawls up, grits her teeth, and replies, "Yes, fully awake. Now, thanks to you." After that, the falls silent again. After a long while, Raphael speaks up to break the silence. "I have heard of Baron Hwin's reputation for a long time, but were you severely abused?" "Since childhood," Suana instinctively replies, "my parents are not that kind of people." "Abuse, ridiculous." Raphael silently looks at her. "Baron Hwin's daughter was locked in an attic, denied an education, and rumors say her family sold her to the temple." He sighs sarcastically. "Just now you were clinging to me, crying that it was hot and begging to be taken out. If it was not your parents, then were you abused at your precious temple?" Suana denies it, claiming she does not remember and suspects Raphael is possessed. Raphael clicks his tongue, noting that the ones possessed are her comrades who were attacked by the evil spirit. Only now does Suana react. "Oh, the knights, are they okay? Are they fine?" He shrugs and says, "Who knows? Why do you not go see for yourself if they are alive or not?" Thus, Suana runs over to the place of the knights. She cries out loudly, "Captain Severino, are you okay? Please wake up. Oh, Mandala, oh my God. I did not expect you to be so helpless before the evil spirit. I pray, if my prayer can reach the gods, please protect your loyal child from evil. Those who walk toward the light will be guided by the divine." Seeing her pray, Raphael suddenly thinks, "But I was wrong. I should not expect anything." She is no different from those useless saintesses, clinging to meaningless scriptures all their lives. After chanting for a while with no effect, Suana turns her head and asks, "Count, what should I do now?" Raphael raises his eyebrows and asks back, "What do you mean, what should you do? They only fainted, just wait for them to wake up." She hesitates, but he immediately snaps, "Enough. When the knights wake up, just tell them you resolved everything with your prayers." Suana tremblingly asks, "But I did not do anything." Just now, Count Winters clearly brandished his sword, swoosh, swoosh, asterisk. As she speaks, she waves her hands to describe it. Raphael growls, "Just do as I say." He lifts her chin, threatening her. "If the temple contacts me about this, I will personally destroy you." Hearing those words, Suana sucks in a cold breath. She hurriedly backs away. Seeing this, Raphael falls silent for a moment. Suana crouches in the corner. After a long while, she peeks at the spot where he was just now. Seeing no one, Suana sighs in relief. He is finally gone. She was almost dragged into that walking disaster. She figured playing dumb would make him bored and leave, just as expected. By the way, what is he doing here anyway? His territory is not in this direction. No, do not be curious. Stay away from the male lead. Suana tells herself she cannot get involved with Raphael as it will only drag out the plot. She wants him to quickly reach the ending so she can escape this novel. Suana runs blindly, in her haste. Without looking at the path, Suana trips over something. That thing is none other than Michael. Seeing this, she cannot help but panic and cries out, "Wait!" Then she delivers a kick to him and screams, "Get out of the way." After kicking him aside, Suana crouches down to contemplate. "I have thought about this for a while, but should I not be exempt from legal liability if I eliminate this guy? Do you know how many times I have been burned by him?" In her mind, Angel Suana nods. "Exactly. How do I know he will not put me on the pyre again in this life?" Suana continues, "That is my point too." Another Angel, Suana asks, "But nothing has happened to Michael in this life yet, right?" She nods. "True, but wait, you are also an angel." That Angel, Suana screams, "If you keep running like this until Michael wakes up, you will not just be a runaway saintess, but you will also be wanted for attempted murder. Suana covers her ears and replies, "That is also true." The other angel says, "But if you do not run now, who knows if there will be another chance?" Suana wonders if the demon was dealt with by Raphael while suspecting her own imagination because one angel looks quite dangerous. Hearing a groan, Suana is startled to realize he is waking up earlier than planned. The two angels disappear. She decides to leave, letting him fend for himself. On the other side, a brown-haired knight crawls up. My head." Suana purses her lips. Her complete escape plan is shattered, making her face darken. The brown-haired knight helps his companion up. He raises his head and calls out, "Captain Saintess, thank heaven both of you are safe." After a moment of thought, Suana gets into character again. "I have prayed to the gods to protect the two of you from danger. Please have mercy and save us. I have sincerely prayed to Mandala." Seeing the holy light radiating from her, the two knights immediately kneel. "Saintess Suana," she continues to cry out, "Oh, Mandala." At the same time, Michael also wakes up. The brown-haired knight thanks her for saving them. Suana replies humbly, but in her heart she feels annoyed and wants no involvement. The brown-haired knight continues, "Since the captain is awake, we should prepare to set off." The green-haired knight beside him adds, "Saintess, please rest." Suana smilingly replies, "Thank you." Not far away, Michael leans his back against a rock deeply. After a long while, he suddenly asks, "By the way, holy maiden, what exactly happened?" "The back of my head hurts terribly." Suana is startled. She quickly fabricates a lie, claiming the captain struck his own head and lost his memory. Michael freezes. It is not just his neck, but the back of his head hurts as well. To stop Michael from thinking further, she pats his shoulder. "Captain Michael. Severino, do not try to recall those painful moments." On the surface, she says pain is nothing compared to the joy of returning to the deity. However, in her heart, she only hopes he forgets that she kicked him. Michael feels grateful and calls out to holy maiden Suana. He stands up, bows respectfully, and thanks her for risking her life to save him from the evil spirit. Suana gently shakes her head. "It is nothing. Helping others is my duty." In her heart, she suddenly recalls Michael's words when they set out. Indeed, the sanctuary is the residence of the holy maidens and a sacred ground to serve the deity. The reason I mentioned that is because there have been cases where a holy maiden and a holy knight disappeared together during long missions. The corners of her lips then curl upward. "Ah, right, there is also that way." At this point, Suana tears her own sleeve and hands it to Michael. "Captain, this can be wrapped around your neck to reduce the swelling quickly." Michael's face flushes slightly. He stammers, "Holy maiden, I can do it myself." Suana shakes her head. "But you are injured. You became like this to protect me." Michael's face turns even redder. "I often sustain such injuries during training. Compared to that, this is nothing." Suana suddenly places her hand on his forehead. "Oh dear Captain, it seems you are starting to run a fever. Your face is flushed and burning hot." Michael's gaze freezes. He turns away to hide his embarrassment. "I am fine, holy maiden. Thank you for your concern. I will handle the rest myself." Suana steps back. She thinks she should not provoke him further. This zealous, vow-keeping fanatic might brand her a witch and burn her at the stake. For safety, she must make him be the one to confess first. She takes a few steps back, then pretends to trip. "Huh?" Michael asks, startled. "Holy maiden, are you all right?" Suana replies, "Ah, it seems I have sprained my ankle." He quickly kneels down and says, "Let me see." She cries out in pain. He reaches out and holds her foot. "Does it hurt when I press here?" Suana does not answer, only letting out a soft cry. Michael asks again, "How about here?" She cries, "Ah, there too." After checking the injury, he withdraws his hand. It seems to be a rather severe sprain. "Holy maiden, if you are like this, I cannot examine the injury." Suana puts on a bashful expression. "But Captain, I'm a bit embarrassed because my leg is bare." Michael is stunned. He gasps, "Ah," his face instantly turns crimson, as if steam is about to erupt from him. He stands up abruptly and speaks loudly, "I apologize." This sudden movement creates a gust of wind, blowing Suana's skirt upward. Michael freezes, then pokes his own eyes with 2 fingers. While shouting, "I saw nothing." Looking at his back, Suana thinks to herself, "Stop resisting your instincts. Just say you want to run away with me and elope." To think she has to work so hard to seduce the very man who burned her to death several times. Her situation is so pathetic. It is pitiful. even though she has only regressed a dozen times and is already this exhausted and frustrated. How much more miserable must he have been? Living an entire life where no matter what one does, there is no hope of moving forward. Suana realizes this hopeless existence allows her to understand and empathize with Raphael's decision of self-destruction. She exhales a breath and speaks softly in lamentation. Truly pitiful. Just as her words fall, a voice suddenly sounds. Who are you calling pitiful, Suana? Stiffens, she raises her head to look at the figure. Submerged in the lake, seeing that she does not answer, Raphael calls out, Holy Maiden Suana once more. I did not know your hobby is peeping on others while they bathe. After a brief daze, she exclaims, Ah, you four eyes, stay away. No, that chest, don't shove it in my face. Raphael raises his eyebrow in helplessness. What did you say about my eyes? At this moment, Suana suddenly trips. She truly trips and falls, crying out in panic, Ah, wait, ah! Just like that, she falls, crawls back up, and falls again, a total of 3 times. Raphael watches for a moment, utterly speechless, and steps onto the shore. Now Suana sits quietly in one spot, clutching her leg and muttering, It hurts so much. Pretending to be injured really backfired. Raphael puts on his clothes. Buttoning them up, he asks, Why are you still hiding alone in the forest? Suana lowers her head and replies, I just came out for a walk, no need to worry. In her heart, she secretly sighs in relief. It seems she is still fine. At this moment, Raphael suddenly reaches out. He says slowly, Stop grumbling, get up. The atmosphere between the two suddenly becomes silent. Looking at the hand extended before her, Suana's eyes are filled with suspicion. After a brief wait, Raphael suddenly sighs. He directly grabs her hand and pulls her up. Suana cries out in shock, Ah! She glares at him and says loudly, Hey, I can stand up on my own. Raphael spreads his arms and asks helplessly, Are you taking your anger out on me? Did something not go your way? Feeling guilty, Suana closes her eyes and replies, HMPH, I have nothing to say to a pervert who bathes naked out in the lake. Raphael pauses. Pervert? How do you think you are the only one playing tricks to seduce a holy knight? Suana shrieks in shock. No, I never did such things. Raphael raises an eyebrow and asks, You think I didn't see it? Right now, right beside you, a horde of ghosts is chirping away, telling me everything. Suana asks in surprise, Ghosts? You can see them. She thinks to herself that constantly seeing ghosts like this is extremely rare. Raphael curls his lips and continues, I do not know what perverted tricks you played on that guy, but the ghosts are screaming that you seduced him. Is it really fine for a holy maiden to fancy a holy knight? You act so devout, I thought you would at least abide by the rules. Suana suddenly speaks in a low voice, Go away. He doesn't understand. And asks, What? She shouts loudly, Tell me what they are saying. What are the ghosts saying? Raphael asks in bewilderment. Do you really care about that man? Suana immediately deploys her ultimate move. If you do not tell me, I will spread rumors that you are a pervert who likes to strip naked outdoors. Something seems to explode inside Raphael's mind. He holds his forehead and sneers, I misjudged you, to think you are such a madwoman. Believing there is hope, Suana urges, Tell me, what are the ghosts next to me? Saying, Since you won't speak, count your ability to see ghosts as a secret, right? I won't tell anyone. Oh, and the fact that you are a pervert who enjoys public exposure too, so please tell me. After her pleading, Raphael actually relents. He says there is nothing special to it, just smile when your eyes meet and react naturally. Excited, Suana asks, What kind of smile like this? Seeing the smile on her face, Raphael suddenly freezes. He purses his lips slightly, frowning as if recalling some unpleasant memories. Then he turns around and says, Do whatever you want. Practice your expressions on your own. I am leaving. Suana snorts, You are so cruel. Raphael ignores her completely, silently walking deeper into the forest. She shouts, Seriously, I am fine on my own too. Let us never meet again. She sighs in relief after the unexpected encounter, then thinks that if she returns, she will follow the spirit's advice and smile seductively. At Michael, just then his voice resounds, What are you doing here? I could not find you, so I have been searching for a long time. Suana covers her mouth and smiles demurely. Ah, my apologies. I came out for some fresh air. I saw the lake, so I approached to take a look. Michael suddenly grows serious. Holy Maiden Suana, did you forget that you are not permitted to walk alone outside the sanctuary? She frowns, her voice carrying a hint of anger. Why? Because you think I will run away, she thinks to herself. I must be mad trying to trick this guy just to escape. How ridiculous. Furthermore, to think of doing that with a monster who is always waiting for an opportunity to burn me alive. At this point, she suddenly shouts in protest, "Captain, do you view the Holy Maiden as a criminal? Why do you corner me to the point where I cannot even breathe?" Michael remains. "Calm, I do not view you as a prisoner. I am protecting you. The outside of the sanctuary is highly dangerous." Suana sneers, "Oh, really? If anything, I am in more danger from you since you are always threatening to eliminate me." Regarding those who leave the sanctuary in search of freedom as witches and executing them, is that truly the will of God? Where is that written in the scriptures? He replies, "The directive is to eradicate evil. I am only doing what must be done." Suana asks furiously, Who told you to do so? Mondala or the High Holy Maiden?" Michael's gaze suddenly turns cold. He grips his sword hilt. "Holy Maiden Suana, it seems you went out alone and were possessed by something. Unlike before, you now seem to have abandoned God." "I knew it would turn out like this," Suana secretly is startled. "Damn it, I cannot believe I was stupid enough to show hesitation in front of Michael. I was so angry that I said such outrageous things. Why did he suddenly draw his sword? Wait, is he skipping the pyre this time? Immediate execution on the spot." Since things have reached this point, she must try everything. Grasping at straws, she desperately says, "Do you not understand why I yearn for freedom so much? Do you truly not know what kind of freedom I dream of?" Michael takes step after step forward. "Those tricks do not work on me, Holy Maiden Suana." She lowers her head, her voice falling. "The one testing me is you, Michael Severino." Michael suddenly freezes in his tracks. The air between them seems to solidify. Seeing this, Suana secretly breathes a sigh of relief. This sudden confession. Did it actually work? Right then, Michael holds his forehead and sighs. "Holy Maiden Suana," she replies. "Yes." He looks away, his gaze somewhat evasive. "I will pretend I never heard those words. I am heading back first." Suana quickly calls after him, "Wait, Captain." Hearing her call, Michael only speeds up as if fleeing. Seeing him disappear behind the trees, Suana finally exhales. She is temporarily out of danger. She thinks silently. Although she has distracted Michael for now, if she returns to the sanctuary like this once, Michael regains his composure. He will definitely find a way to eliminate her. As she thinks, she recalls a certain regression where Michael drew his sword and said, "Oh, Mon Nadala, please forgive this sinful child, one whose body has been possessed by an evil spirit." Suana hardens her resolve. Since things have reached this point, her role as the gentle holy maiden in this lifetime is over. She runs directly into the forest, which is marked as a danger zone. Under the full moon, Suana looks at the cloth marker on the tree trunk. Is this what it feels like to be possessed by a ghost? She is exhausted and breathless. "How long have I been walking in circles in the same spot?" Suana leans against the tree trunk and laments inwardly. "Damn it. I am so thirsty and my leg hurts too." Suddenly, there is a noise behind her. Suana wonders what the sound is. Then she joyfully recognizes the sound of a flowing stream. She hurriedly runs toward it, thinking that water always flows downward. She does not want to be burned alive ever again. If she follows the downward flow of the water, she can go home. She should be able to descend the mountain. As she runs aimlessly toward the sound of the stream, she suddenly recalls a childhood trip to a valley with her parents. Suana calls out softly, "Mom, Dad." It must have been not long after she was adopted. That day, while she is playing in the park, a child suddenly falls right beside her. Looking around for a moment, she then goes over to help the girl up. At the same time, a voice of praise sounds. "Even for a friend you just met, you still offered help. Our Dahai is truly a good child." At that time, she replied, "Anyone would do this." Every time she was called a good child, she felt very happy because that was the very reason. She met her parents. That day, the orphanage teacher leads a couple over. "Dahai is the most mature and well-behaved child in our center." Both of them say in turn, "So you are Dahai? Nice to meet you. Dahai, would you like to live with us?" At that time, she replied self-deprecatingly, "But I am already 6 years old." The other adults said that she had already missed the ideal age. The couple pauses for a moment, then says gently, "If we had a biological child, they would probably be your age too. A 6-year-old Dahai is even better." She stammers, "Then can I be your child?" The two quickly grasp her hands. Do you really want to? What a good girl. Dehai, thank you for becoming our child. From now on, will you call us Mom and Dad, Dahai's parents' happy days. Quickly pass. One day she accidentally walks past the room of the couple. The woman holds a pregnancy test strip in her hand. Both of them embrace and say, the three of us like this will always be a family. Hearing those words, her pupils suddenly become hollow. Three people, then what about me? At this point, Suana suddenly collides headfirst into the very tree she marked. She tumbles backward, shaking her head to regain her senses. After a few seconds, Suana grinds her teeth and says, that scene was so vivid. Was it an illusion? It hurts so much. Seeing the tree before her, she is startled. Ah, wait, why have I returned to this tree again? Right, I clearly followed the sound of water. Right at that moment, the surrounding scenery suddenly darkens. In front of Suana, something appears. It laughs and calls out, little love, giggling, little love, are you planning to leave? She flees in panic, her heart filled with immense dread. She travels everywhere in her role as the Saintess, but has never seen the trace of a single ghost, let alone heard one. In her haste, Suana trips, her entire body falls, face first onto the ground. After panting heavily and crawling back up, she hears the calling voice ring out again. She quickly covers her ears and thinks angrily, damned ghost, go away. I said go away. Right at that moment, Raphael's voice suddenly echoes. Scram if you want to keep your peace unless you want to die. Ah, I forgot, you are already dead. Aren't you? Suana stands up in a daze. This rude way of speaking, could it be? While she looks around, Raphael speaks up again. So what? What does that have to do with me? Get lost, looking at your bloated face disgusts me. Suana cries out in emotion. Ah, hearing the sound, he turns his head to look over. At this moment, Suana also runs over. She bursts into tears like a child, whimpering Raphael Winter's name. Sweating, he cries out, what is this? You still haven't left. Suana quickly grabs his hand. At that exact moment, a beam of light suddenly appears between their hands. The moment Raphael sees that light, his entire body freezes. Deep in his heart, he feels a sense of peace that he has not felt in a long time. Suana pleads earnestly, Count, please help me. Just now you are talking to a ghost, right? A strange entity is clinging to me, and it is even making gurgling sounds. Having said this, Suana suddenly blinks a few times as if waking from a dream. She stammers and pulls her hand back. Raphael, Count Winter's right. At that moment, Raphael suddenly grabs her hand. Wait. Stand still, let me think for a moment. Right then, a gust of wind suddenly blows past. He raises his face and mutters to himself. The wind is blowing and there is the scent of grass. Suana hesitates. Well, that is probably because we are in the forest. After a few seconds, Raphael suddenly utters three words. It is so. Quiet. Suana is dazed. Yes. In her heart, she wonders what he is murmuring about. Is he really communicating with spirits? Just as the thought crosses her mind, Raphael snaps out of it. He frowns and asks, who are you? Suana thinks for a moment and replies, the Saintess. He immediately glares at her. Do you think I am asking about that? Suana says in embarrassment. Then how should I answer to satisfy you? I am sorry for grabbing you, but can we talk after you let go of me? Raphael wonders. This strange world, abnormally quiet, is both sacred and beautiful. Is that why my vision is sparkling so brightly? He steps closer, repeating his question, who on earth are you? Suana shakes her head and replies, I do not understand what you are saying. At the same time, Michael's angry voice rings out. What on earth is going on here? As he speaks, he approaches with a dark face. Suana is startled, thinking, damn it, I am exposed. She tries to make an excuse, but the knight captain does not wait for her to finish. Michael narrows his eyes. Saintess Suana, desertion is a capital crime, not to mention contacting an outsider without permission. Suana's voice trembles. This is just coincidence. He turns to Raphael, Count Winters, release the Saintess. Immediately, he sneers. If I release her, you will take her back and burn her alive on charges of witchcraft, right? Suana is startled and asks in a low voice, why are you provoking him for no reason? Sure enough, Michael draws his sword. If you do not release Saintess Suana, Count, in the name of the gods, I will execute you. Of course, that also applies to Saintess Suana for deserting without permission to meet you. Though by now she probably cannot be considered a saintess anymore. Raphael bursts into laughter. "Ha, so you intend to eliminate anyone and everyone. How ruthless, it seems." The Monedala temple is built upon a mountain of corpses. Hearing those insulting words, Michael grates his teeth and snarls, "You dare insult the gods." His blade immediately slashes forward, but Raphael effortlessly blocks it. Suana shrinks into his chest and shrieks, "Ah, hey, Count, can't you put me down before you fight?" Raphael curls his lips, steps back, and raises his leg, delivering a fierce kick to Michael. He flies backward, clutching his chest as he groans and crawls back up. Only now does Raphael speak. "Look, Suana, if we eliminate this rigid fellow here, it will only cause more trouble." She asks curiously, "Why?" He shrugs. "A bunch of fanatics will hunt us down to capture the ones who killed their knight captain, right?" She ponders and replies, "That is true." Seeing this, Michael says, "It seems both of you have been completely possessed by evil spirits." Suana cannot help but sigh in her heart. What should we do? "Is there any saving this?" Raphael suddenly says. "But I cannot let him take you away either. You are afraid of fire, right?" Suana is slightly startled. "What, me? Is he talking to me?" At the same time, Michael charges forward once more. While blocking the blows, Raphael mutters, "Perhaps starting over would be better." Suana cannot hear clearly and asks, What did you just say?" Raphael throws her backward and says, "There will be a next time. So do not be afraid." Suana cries out in confusion, "Next time?" Right at that moment, Raphael flashes past Michael. He leaps straight down the abyss, turning around to smile, and says, "See you again." Saintess Suana yells in shock, "Raphael." In the blink of an eye, she is back in the room. Of that day, Iro repeats her line for the nth time, "It is your turn to clean today." Suana sits up, thinking, is that how it is? Seeing her lack of reaction, Iro pulls her arm. "Hey, are you listening to me?" Suana is still thinking, "I didn't die, but I returned to this exact point. I thought there would be some complex rules or conditions." She does not answer, so Iro yells again, "What is wrong with you? Are you faking an illness because you do not want to clean?" Suana continues to contemplate. Raphael Winters, "If the male lead dies, I am also rewound as a package deal." Having finished her thoughts, she says, "Sorry, Iro, I have an emergency." Seeing her run toward the door, Iro cries out in surprise, "Hey, Suana," out in the hallway. Suana runs fast while thinking, "That was also the longest I have ever survived." Seeing her running outside in her nightgown, the apprentice Saintesses gossip about her improper attire and behavior. Suana does not pay any attention to her surroundings, furiously cursing in her heart, "Raphael, that bastard deserves to be torn to shreds." At the training grounds of the Holy Knights, Suana runs in and calls out loudly, "Lord Malik." A curious knight asks, "Is that the Saintess you know, Malik?" Malik looks over and shakes his head. Suana does not care about any of that. She directly pulls him outside by his arm. "Lord Knight, come over here for a moment." Malik cries out in surprise, "Saintess." After leaving the training area, Suana pushes him against the wall, leaving Malik completely dazed. She says loudly, "Lord Malik, I like you, I love you, please elope with me." Malik is stunned. What did you say?" What did she just say? If they had not gotten lost in the mountains, Raphael would not have pushed himself to such a meaningless death. What starting over? There is a next time, so do not be surprised. He seems to think I am the type of idle saintess who can happily time travel with him, but I must return to my parents who are surely worrying about me. The sooner the better. They are definitely worrying themselves sick, definitely. Before the mark of the Supreme Saintess is engraved on my hand, meaning, when I am still just an unnoticed, low-level Saintess. My plan to seduce an easily manipulated knight and elope is a grand success. It has been over a month since we fled and we still have not been caught. As soon as we dock, I will abandon Malik and hide until the novel's story ends. The plan is flawless, but Suana feels annoyed. Heavens, this guy talks too much. Meanwhile, Malik cries out, "Please, my beloved Suana." She asks in bewilderment, What? What did you say?" He smiles. "I want to know everything about the woman who will walk with me for the rest of my life. Can you tell me?" Suana covers her mouth and chuckles. There is really nothing interesting to tell. In her heart, she thinks, I know nothing about Suana's life other than rumors, so it is best to avoid it. Yet Malik still looks at her with a gaze that says, "If you do not tell me, I will stare at you for the rest of my life." Suana thinks helplessly, "I guess I have to make something up." Then she says, I used to be very lonely, sometimes. I imagine myself as a princess, locked in a tower, believing a brave knight would come to rescue me. That made me feel better. At this point, Suana suddenly laughs. Ha ha, and occasionally I hoped that my birth parents who abandoned me would return to find me. Malik asks in surprise, Oh, do you mean the family of Baron H.W. who left you at the temple? Suana nods and replies with a troubled heart, Yes, them. The words just leave her mouth when an explosion suddenly echoes from the starboard side. The captain and sailors panic in shock. What is going on? A warship is firing cannons at our ship. Fortunately, they missed. The cannonballs only fell into the water. Hearing this, Suana thinks to herself, I knew it. Whenever things go too smoothly, there is bound to be trouble. Malik holds her in his arms, frowns and asks, What the hell is it, pirates? At the same time, a somewhat familiar voice rings out from the sea. Suana, she immediately turns her head to look, that annoying voice. Could it be? A moment later, the two ships pull alongside each other. Raphael steps onto the deck and shouts, Come out, Suana. Just hand her over to me and I will leave immediately. Suana's face turns dark as she thinks, Isn't that guy supposed to be at his inauguration ceremony right now? The passengers on board whisper in commotion. Could it be the one who achieved those terrifying military exploits in the war? Count Winters, why are you here? Raphael walks up to the captain. Are you the captain? A young girl with long, silvery purple hair. Just hand her over to me and I will leave. Inside a nearby haystack, Malik asks in surprise, Suana. Is he looking for you? She quickly gestures. Keep quiet if you do not want to die. Raphael calls out loudly, I know you are hiding there, come out now. You know I can accurately sense your location. Suana immediately glares at the air, baring her teeth as she asks, Did you guys snitch on me? Cowards. Malik cannot help but feel terrified. My love, who are you talking to? She freezes. I do not know either. Stay here, do not go out. After saying that, she stands up. Malik nods. All right. Seeing that she has appeared, Raphael reaches out his hand. Come here, you could not even wait a few days before. Causing trouble? The captain quickly interjects. Wait, is this the person you are looking for? Count, she boarded this ship claiming to be traveling with her husband. Raphael sneers. What, husband? Do not make me laugh. Malik immediately rushes out to assert his ownership. It is no joke. We love each other. I will absolutely never hand her over to you. Suana thinks to herself, Hey, do not cross the line. Passengers whisper among themselves again. I heard nobles like to covet married women, but it seems she boarded this ship to escape him. Hearing this, Raphael lets out a sigh. Stop. Acting, will you? Do you mean to say a saintess and a knight fleeing from the temple are husband and wife? The wind on the ship immediately shifts. A saintess? Traitors of the gods dare board our ship. Suana turns pale and says, I told you to stay put, why did you come out? Malik stammers, I did not think things would turn out like this. Everyone, please listen to us for a moment. Before he can finish, the crowd shouts, There is nothing to hear, drag them off the ship immediately. A group of people quickly subdues Malik. He cries out, Wait, let go. Saintess Suana is also grabbed by several burly men. It hurts hearing her scream. Malik struggles frantically. Wait, Suana! Hearing his tragic cry, Suana suddenly freezes. Are they really throwing him off? Is it really because I ran away that they will eliminate everyone around me in such a meaningless way just because I chose them? Raphael steps forward. I am taking her with me. Stop being stubborn, give up. Suana stubbornly says, I am not crazy. There is no way I am going with you. Raphael chuckles coldly. Do you think you can run away? Starts from here, the moment he sees her climbing onto the ship's railing. He stares in daze. Damn it, by the time Raphael rushes over, Suana already leaps into the sea. He spins around and shouts loudly, What are you all doing? Lower the sails, stop the ship and rescue her. A sailor shrugs. Why should we save a saintess who betrayed the gods and chose death? Raphael is so furious that he gnashes his teeth. Damn it, he directly strips off his shirt and dives straight into the sea. Passing through the white foam, Raphael sees hands stretching up from the seabed. He weaves through them, searching left and right. Finally, he spots the silhouette of Suana not far away. Raphael immediately carries her as he surfaces. Suana, Saintess, answer me, open your eyes, breathe. Seeing her fail to respond, he curses loudly. Damn it, if this Saintess Dies my life this time will be no different. From the previous times, I must start over again. Then Raphael willingly sinks into the ocean. It is fine, I just need to be more careful next time once more. Thus ends my tedious life, a life I have repeated so many times that I can no longer count them. I return to an unknown point in the past. Under the curtain of rain, a man picks up a wooden box. Huh! Even so, it has been quite a while since I returned to this exact moment. Looking at the bloody carving on his hand, the man shouts, "How could they do such a cruel thing to a newborn baby? Raphael is that. Your name, let us go to my home, okay?" This time I return quite far back. Man Eaton Winters struggles hard to maintain a blacksmith shop in destitute circumstances. Upon seeing him bring Raphael back, his wife screams, "If you want to raise him, do it yourself. I will not lay a single finger on that child." The woman looking at me with those loathsome eyes is his wife, Maria. She neglects and abuses me whenever her husband is away. But to me, who has experienced far worse things, this is not even worth calling suffering. Yet his calm demeanor frightens Maria. "You do not cry, nor do you laugh. How disgusting!" While killing time through the boring years of childhood, that moment finally arrives. He says seriously, "Please do not drink alcohol today." Eaton asks in surprise, "Raphael, what are you talking about?" He replies, "You might fall and injure your leg." Even Eaton, who brought me back, does not listen to a child like me. So that accident repeats every single time. But I do not give up, I keep trying. Then he changes his wording, "Please go out today and do not come home." Eaton, who has now lost a leg, frowns and asks, "Why?" Raphael does not answer. He continues to instruct, "But do not sleep on the streets either." Eaton falls silent. "In my previous life, he was beaten to death by bandits on the streets. If I say this, at least he will stay at an inn." In the room, Maria screams, "Hey, Raphael, why are you not done cleaning yet?" He silently watches Eaton's departing back. "From here on out, I will find a way to manage on my own." The next day, a flock of crows swoops down upon the wooden house. When Eaton returns, he gasps upon seeing the house completely collapsed. "Ah!" After rummaging through the ruins, Eaton cries out, "Ah, Maria." "Children." At this moment, Raphael limps back from afar, holding a wooden stick. "They were attacked by bandits. I thought that if I sneaked up from behind, I could control them, but my current physical strength is still too weak. I cannot do it alone." Eaton suddenly charges forward. "Why, you knew about this beforehand, which is why you told me to go out. Why did you only save me? Why are you the only one alive? You are a demon. I should have destroyed you long ago, if only I had listened to Maria." While screaming, he suddenly slips and falls backward. Eaton's head strikes directly against the edge of the rubble. Blood gushes out. His life ends. Raphael calmly says, "I am sorry." Eaton Winters, "I met a strange Saintess and thought this time might be different. I did not expect you to die from a falling accident like this. Next time I return to this moment, I will try a different way to save you. Returning to this point in time is quite rare, so I am not bored of it yet. You should rest for a while. As for me, I must prepare many things for this life." Countless years later, at the HW mansion, a servant asks curiously, "Who are you?" Raphael replies with a smile, "I am Raphael Winters, Knight Captain under Marquis Huver Baker. Forgive my sudden visit, but may I meet Baron HW?" She pulls her head back inside. "Please wait a moment." Soon a commotion rises from within. "Master, mistress, the Knight Captain of Marquis Huver Baker has arrived." "What? I have never borrowed money from the Marquis. Does he look like a debt collector?" "No, he is a well-dressed gentleman. And very handsome at that." "Really? Hey, wife, did you hide all our daughters? Which one should we use to entertain him? Except for the one you suspected was from an affair and threw into the temple, we have married off all the others." Hearing this, Raphael sighs deeply. The bickering inside continues. "What? You said you got pregnant after I returned from my business trip. You fool, do you not know how to count? I have told you so many times. It was before you left." At that moment, Raphael pushes the door open and steps in. Amidst the sudden silence, he smiles and says, "Baron HW, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Raphael Winters." The man replies awkwardly, "Ah, yes, I am Baron Frank HW, a pleasure. This is my wife, Chuddy HW." She also gives a forced laugh. "Ho ho. So nice to meet you." Frank quickly changes the subject. "So you serve under Marquis Baker. What brings you here today?" Raphael says calmly, "You have a daughter who was sent to the temple instead of being married off. Please allow me to marry that young lady." Frank cries out in shock. What? What on earth are you talking about? He replies. Once someone is slated to become a saintess, it is very difficult to leave the temple through ordinary means. However, I hear that if the family shows sincerity, it can be annulled. Seeing the chest of jewels he presents, both Frank and Chuddy freeze. Ah, cough, oh my, this is far from enough to take away the daughter we worked so hard to raise. Raphael unpins the badge from his chest. I have much more than this. Please accept it, father. Frank cries out excitedly. Oh my. You are indeed thoughtful. Our daughter will surely be very happy. I will bring her back immediately. Just trust me and wait. Chuddy clutches the treasure chest tightly, whispering, How much is this worth in the end? Raphael suddenly recalls Suana's words. My parents are not that kind of people. Abuse? How ridiculous. So naive, you indeed have an incredibly stubborn, foolish side. Then he says, I shall wait for your news then. Not long after, Suana is brought out and even escorted to Raphael's mansion. Chuddy says, when you go inside, behave with absolute politeness and humility. She replies respectfully, yes. In her heart, she is utterly bewildered. What is happening? Nothing like this has ever happened before. A few days ago, while Suana was sweeping dust in the holy temple, Chuddy suddenly barges in. My beautiful daughter, I have come to take you home. It happens so suddenly, leaving her dazed as she asks, who are you? Suana thinks this is her first time meeting her parents, but since they are allowed inside, it has to be real. At the same time, she wonders about the man she has never met who proposes to her. Thank you very much for getting me out of that damn heretical den. After entering inside, Chuddy calls out naturally, Lord Knight, have you been waiting long? When she sees Raphael, the gratitude that just welled up in her heart instantly vanishes. Huh! She stares wide-eyed and screams, This crazy stalker! Frank slaps the table and barks, How dare you speak to the knight captain like that? Suana spins right around and runs away. Just forget it, do not look for me anymore. Chuddy cannot react in time, only stuttering out Suana's name. Frank also panics, That insolent girl. Raphael stands up and says, Please wait a moment. Meanwhile, Suana already runs near the gate. She curses inwardly, Crazy bastard. Are you insane? Why do you keep stalking me? Go reach the end of the novel by yourself. The moment her thought finishes, Raphael appears right beside her. It is best you do not waste your energy in vain. Suana gasps in surprise, so fast. The next second, Raphael lifts her up. After a moment of daze, she curses loudly, Let me go, you bastard. He says calmly, I will let you go if you promise to follow me. Obediently, Frank is shocked to see Raphael carrying Suana like luggage. She resists. Are you crazy? Raphael replies, I will handle the wedding myself. No need to worry. Frank suddenly says, Listen here, Lord Winters. Even so, if you carry your fiancée like you are kidnapping her, what will happen to our reputation? Hearing this, Raphael's face turns cold. To think you are actually the type to care about reputation. Compared to scoundrels who lock up a child and discard her into a temple, I will ensure she lives a much happier life. Therefore, do not interfere with my wife's business from now on. How Suana frowns and questions him. Speak. Why on earth are you so determined to marry me? From what I can see, you have been preparing for this for a very long time. Raphael glances over. If I tell you, will you stop trying to run away? She nods. Fine, I am listening. Let us see how grand your reason is. The air in the room suddenly falls so silent that Suana feels suspicious. Raphael only now utters 3 words, I need you, even if I must go. Through this damn cycle a dozen more times, I still want to keep you by my side. Suana turns pale and curses, You madman? Raphael smiles and asks, not pretending to be bashful anymore. Yes, you are right. I am a madman. If you want to die, then go ahead and die, because I will pursue you to the very end. Suana replies seriously, Let me tell you beforehand, I do not want anything to do with you. I absolutely have no intention of living with you. Hearing this, Raphael suddenly sneers, Have you truly fallen for that foolish holy knight? Suana frowns. Can you stop talking about someone who died at sea because of you like that? I already suspected it, but you really are trash. Raphael smiles casually. For someone who makes a sport of playing with men's feelings, you sure have the nerve to say that. First a coward, then a foolish coward. Who will be the third? Suana sneers. It is none of your business, so do not worry. Why even ask? Raphael shrugs. Why would I not worry? No matter who you run to, I will destroy them all and drag you back. She rolls her eyes and curses inwardly, a literal maniacal killer. But just as he says, even if she dies to escape, she will only return to the beginning. Fine, she says, let us settle things one by one. Future husband, why do you need me? Is it because being near me allows you to purify those evil spirits? As she speaks, Suana thinks to herself, it seems Raphael will not destroy me right away. He slowly says evil spirits cannot be purified, they can only be sealed. Suana freezes. Sealed? Raphael nods and explains, if I slash them, I can trap them within my blade. Because of that, my sword always reeks of rotting corpses and echoes with screaming curses. Suana cannot help but feel curious. Do they speak to you? Raphael gnashes his teeth. They only think of slaughter, not just the things sealed in the sword. They are everywhere. Even if I die as they wish, I still come back to life. Time after time, a cursed existence, forever toyed with by evil spirits. You cannot hear them, so you do not understand at all. Right this very moment, they are surrounding us. They are screaming to destroy everything. Suana is startled. She calls out to Raphael. She grabs his hand, and the space around Raphael instantly falls. Silent, only then does she ask, are you all right? Calm down and take a deep breath. Raphael slowly regains his breath. He closes his eyes for a moment. Upon opening them, he says, the moment your hand touches me, everything disappears. I no longer see or hear anything. The world becomes so quiet as if they never existed. It makes my entire life of struggle feel utterly meaningless. Saying this, he suddenly recalls the insults from long ago. Stay away, how hideous. Just looking at his face makes me sick. People say he screams at empty air. A demon? Seeing this, Suana asks hesitantly, are you really all right? Is my hand not enough? Should we try bare feet as well? Raphael raises both hands in surrender. Enough, let go. Suana continues, I am truly worried about you, but do I really have some sort of ability? No one in the temple ever said so. Raphael is suddenly curious. Have you held their hands before? Suana nods. Yes, of course, Lord Michael even walked with me. He continues to ask, did that guy not say anything? She ponders. Now that I think about it, when I pretended to perform the purification ritual, his reaction was indeed a bit strange. Raphael takes the opportunity to ask, and what about that foolish night you ran away with for love? At least the two of you held hands, right? The moment those words leave his mouth, Suana looks at him with disdain. Oh, you know what? You sound exactly like a petty, jealous man. Disgusting. Raphael immediately shouts, I am only curious about your ability. Suana falls silent for a moment, then changes the subject. Are there any spirits that do no harm? Raphael glances at her as if looking at a fool asking nonsense. There are no good spirits in this world. Suana smiles and says, but who knows, right? Perhaps we can make them fight each other and banish one. Just then, a plate on the shelf suddenly moves. It flies straight up into the air and crashes down. Suana gasps in shock. Oh my God, that scared me. What is that? Don't tell me it is a ghost. Raphael replies calmly, this is a common occurrence. Not a single day passes where the furniture in this house remains intact. Do you think those tame ghosts would do such a thing? Hearing this, Suana trembles with anger. Seeing this, Raphael mistakes her anger for fear. He thinks to himself that after experiencing it is impossible not to be afraid. Immediately after, Suana screams, hey, why aren't you cleaning this up right now? You do not even pay rent, so what do you think you are doing? Do you want me to perform a harsh exorcism? There is a limit to joking around. What if someone gets hurt? The ghosts wreck things, but others have to clean up after them. While Raphael stares blankly, stunned by her actions, a red-haired female ghost named Helen asks, who is going to clean this up? A male ghost named Enzo replies, whoever broke it cleans it up. The entire group looks at a child named Chloe. He immediately stomps his feet and shouts, I will not do it. This is not fair. Everyone joined in on the destruction. Why is it that only I have to clean up? Hearing this, Raphael cannot help but snort. Suana does not understand his world. She asks curiously, what? Why are you laughing? I am being serious. Raphael replies, no, it is just that I have never seen them like this before. Previously, they were only dark shadows. Today is the first time I can clearly see their faces. Suana looks in amazement toward his line of sight. Oh, are they over there? In the corner, Mapan asks, sister, what is wrong with that person? So scary. Helen, who is being clung to, snaps, "Hey, do not be such a coward." She looks dirt poor at first glance, the ghost, Lucy, says. "What does money have to do with anything? If we do not listen, I think she will exorcise us." Not far away, an old lady named Kate calls out, "Chloe, it is dangerous over there. Come here." The young boy bursts into tears and cries, "Grandma." Enzo says with irritation, "Hey, old lady, stop spoiling him. Tell him to come over here and clean up." The ghost Thomas calls out, "Forget it, Enzo. Did you forget? We cannot touch children and the elderly." The ghost grandma asks, "Where is the broom?" On the floor, old man Maxian groans, "Cake. I want to eat cake." Suddenly, a rumbling sound echoes out. The entire crowd, including Raphael, looks toward the old man. Maya immediately says, "Huh, it is not me." Suana suddenly blushes. She says embarrassedly, "I have not eaten anything since leaving the temple." Raphael stands up. "Then how about we eat before it gets dark, my future bride?" Suana looks back, her face still red. "Yes, that sounds good, Count Winters." The two of them depart. The ghosts watch them through the window. The young ghost giggles. Someone terrifying has arrived. Thomas nods. "Exactly, on the street." Suana asks curiously, "Are people avoiding us?" She recalls the rejections every time they try to enter an eatery. "Sorry, we are fully booked and we are out of ingredients." At this point, she cannot help but raise her voice in disbelief. "Why can we not even enter a single restaurant? Ah, wait, is it because I still look like the Saintess of the temple?" Raphael shakes his head slightly. "It is because of me. Since this is before I am granted the title of war hero, people probably think I am a lunatic who talks to himself. There are even rumors that I am possessed." Suana picks her ear and replies indifferently, "Is that so? You are more famous than I thought." Raphael looks at her, making his own assumptions. He thinks she finds him unlucky and is annoyed, just like everyone else. Suana grits her teeth and rubs her stomach. From hunger, the two walk until nightfall before finding food. She sighs with emotion, "Fortunately, that street vendor is willing to sell food to us. This is edible." Behind them, Chloe whispers because he cannot hear clearly, "Can we not get any closer?" Mapan stops him. "No, if she finds out, she will destroy us." Behind the two of them, Enzo raises an eyebrow. "Hey kid, old lady Kate told me to bring you back safely, so behave yourself. Got it?" Chloe clicks his tongue in annoyance. "Old man." Enzo immediately yells, "What, old man, you brat?" Chloe is struck and instantly cries out, "Ah!" Enzo continues to ask, "Do you want me to send you to the Yellow Springs right now?" The boy screams loudly, "Ah, do not hit me." At this moment, Lucy calls Mapan aside for a private talk, leaving him flustered and bewildered. On the other side, the two are still strolling along the street. Raphael says he only regresses when he dies. Suana throws the last piece of cake into her mouth and confirms, "I know, the last time you fell off the cliff, I regressed with you." She grits her teeth, recalling how she was reset in the middle of everything going well because of someone. Raphael apologizes guiltily. She smiles through gritted teeth and says, "It is fine, it is in the past now." So what if I die first?" She wonders. "Will time stop and only Raphael can move?" He quickly replies, "Time will continue to flow even if you die until I myself die." Suana brushes her hair back and replies awkwardly, "I understand." In her heart, she is curious. So what if Raphael does not die? On the day I was first burned alive, or all those times I died and came back to life, my life could end at any moment. She changes her plans. She must absolutely not die before him. Then she adopts a subservient look and says, "If I did anything to displease you, Count, may I apologize? I sincerely apologize." This leaves Raphael dumbfounded, unable to understand what is happening. Suana freezes. Right, he is not a count yet. Only now does Raphael notice the deserted surroundings. He frowns and says, "It is dark, let us go back." Suana nods. "Yes, all right." Right at that moment, she is suddenly dragged backward by something. Raphael shouts in alarm, "Saintess!" Suana also screams in panic. "No," he hurriedly pursues Suana. After both enter the house, Suana is released. Rubbing her buttocks, she says, "I did not enter on my own. Ow, my butt hurts so much." Raphael says seriously, "It is an evil spirit. Stand still." At the same time, the door of the house suddenly slams shut. Suana turns pale and cries out, "Are we trapped?" Raphael says in a deep voice, "Wait here." Damn it, it is completely blocked. Just as he finishes speaking, Lucy's voice echoes in his ears, "Do you want to go outside? If you want to leave this place, the two of You must kiss. Rappel's face freezes. The ghosts outside the door are also startled, breaking into a cold sweat as they look inside. After a moment, Raphael finally reacts. Sai, you are one of the spirits in my house. Stop talking nonsense. Open the door. Lucy frowns and says, my younger sister stole my fiancé right before our wedding day. My family was very strict, so I had never even held his hand before the wedding. He is somewhat speechless. So you are devastated because of the shock, but what does that have to do with me? Move out of the way quickly. Lucy lowers her voice. I just see the two of you together and it reminds me of my former self. I only want to know what would happen if that relationship continued. So, kiss, I will not leave until I am satisfied. Rappel's face darkens as he scolds, you are truly insane. I will exorcise you right now. At the same time, a pair of small hands suddenly wraps around him. Chloe mischievously cries, kiss. Rappel yells in anger. What the hell is this? Let go. Seeing this, Suana asks, Rappel, what are you doing? What are the ghosts saying? Chloe still clings tightly to him, continuously shouting, kiss. Rappel replies in anger, damn it, how would I know why they are this strong? Just as he finishes speaking, a pair of hands suddenly pushes Suana hard from behind. She cries out in surprise. As she stumbles forward, by momentum, Suana staggers forward and hugs Raphael. In his mind, the voices of the ghosts keep echoing, telling them to kiss, although she does not hear that cheering. Suana's face still flushes red. She stares blankly at Raphael for a long time, then hurriedly steps back and stammers, I am sorry, I did not mean to. Raphael's face also gradually turns red. Damn it, this must definitely be. I must have been possessed by that damned ghost. He grabs Suana's shoulders. Bear with it for a bit. This is the fastest way to get out. At the same time, he thinks, otherwise, why would I ever? Suana asks in surprise, what are you doing, Raphael? Purses his lips, unable to believe he is doing this. Seeing his lips drawing closer, Suana cannot help but panic. Huh, yes. Huh, what? She screams internally, ah, almost at the exact moment their lips touch, the door suddenly flies open, while being thrown outside. Suana says in surprise, oh, we really got out immediately. As expected, everything is within calculations. I knew it, haha. At the same time, a commotion suddenly erupts nearby. What are you two doing in front of a child? Enzo scolds Mappan for helping Lucy. Mappan cries out tremblingly, Lucy said she would destroy me if I did not help. Enzo scolds back, you are already dead, yet you are still afraid. Chloe cowers and cries, kiss. Meanwhile, Raphael warns them in a cold voice that he will destroy them if they do not vanish. Enzo quickly hoists Lucy onto his shoulder and drags those two fools along as they run away. Suana cannot suppress her curiosity. So what was that all about just now? Rappel answers that she does not need to know. Suddenly, a voice rings out. Excuse me, did you two just come out of that haunted house? And yet you are completely unharmed, Suana intends to explain. Ah, that. Without waiting for her to finish, Raphael pulls her hand and departs. Come here, let us go. Do not get involved in this. Seeing this, the old lady who just spoke suddenly kneels down. Can you please help this old woman? I will reward you generously, please. Just this once. Not long after, Raphael and Suana follow the old lady. He says coldly, hey, old woman, I only followed because you asked, so do not expect too much. The old lady replies hesitantly, yes. From behind, Suana asks in a low voice, do you see anything like an evil spirit near her? Rappel shakes his head, no, absolutely not. After walking a bit longer, the old lady suddenly points in a direction. It is here. I am old, so I put this house up for sale to move in with my son and daughter-in-law. However, no one can enter this house, anyone other than me. The moment they touch the gate, they will be injured or thrown back as if dragged by some powerful force. Having said this, the old lady asks with expectant eyes, do you see anything? Suana frowns and looks around. A moment later, she asks, old woman, did you raise a dog? The old lady does not answer. Rappel suddenly asks, your dog has died, hasn't it? She bows her head and lowers her voice, replying, yes, I had not even done anything for it before it left in a hurry. Suana cries out apologetically, I am sorry. Rappel shakes his head and sighs, at any rate, this house itself is not haunted. Otherwise, you would not be so safe and sound. All right, let us go. The old lady hastily cries out, "What? Wait, please wait a moment. If possible, please take another look." Just as the old lady kneels, Rappel hears a growl. He looks over in surprise. Something suddenly darts through the air, scratching and leaving several bloody scratches on his hand. Rappel hastily shouts, "You too, stand behind me." At the same time, he also hears a voice. He. Look who is here, how amusing. Look at him, constantly looking around anxiously. Rappel grits his teeth and thinks, damn. Where is it? In his sight, the ground where he stands suddenly collapses. Raphael immediately falls into a void, in his ears. The screams of evil spirits echo, constantly telling him to die. Rappel thinks frantically, destroy me, they will destroy me. No, please destroy me, just destroy me already. Suana hastily screams, Rappel, wake up, I am holding your hand. You will be fine, so do not die, Raphael, Raphael Winters. She thinks anxiously. It is happening again, witnessing someone die right before my eyes. I do not want to see that sight ever again. At this moment, Raphael also regains his composure. He asks in surprise, what happened? Suana exhales a sigh of relief. Do you feel better? You suddenly fell down and convulsed. I was worried to death. Raphael glances at her hand where a gentle light is radiating. He closes his eyes and says, I feel like I can breathe again. It feels as if I can continue living if she is by my side. After a few seconds of silence, Suana clears her throat. Excuse me, your hand is injured. It needs to be treated immediately. Rappel raises his hand. Looking at the bite mark on my hand. He says, it seems your dog is guarding this place. The old lady asks in shock, my Topi? Wait, do you really see my Topi? Raphael glances to the other side, saying that there is a pair of small ears twitching. He asks, a large white dog, and it is lame in its back left leg. Correct, the old lady cries out emotionally. Topi, if you have already left this world, you should have rested in peace. Why are you still lingering here? Is it because your leg hurts so you cannot leave? The one carrying Topi should have been this grandmother instead. I am sorry, Topi. This useless old woman cannot even hold you anymore. Seeing the old lady sobbing all by herself, Suana's eyes turn red. Then she kneels down and says, oh, grandmother's lovely Topi. Why are you so good and cute? Good boy, come here, Rappel asks in confusion, what are you doing? Suana turns her head to look at him. Stop teasing, let us see if it comes to me. As only then does the old woman realize where she is. Raphael extends his hand. It is covered in bite and scratch marks. Do you see the injuries it left on my body? It is wary of everyone except the old woman. There is no way it will approach you. Just as his words fall, a dog's bark echoes out. Woof! To Raphael's utter surprise, Topi actually leaps into Suana's embrace. She is startled. Right after her body collapses to the side, completely unconscious, Raphael finally reacts. Damn it, Suana, just what the hell was that just now? Hey, open your eyes. Are you all right, Suana? After regaining consciousness, Suana immediately runs toward the old woman and cries, out, grandma, grandma, play with me. Does your knee hurt? It hurts so much, so much. Right, so you won't play with me? The old woman asks in a daze. What? Suana continues, Topi saw everything. You cannot just lie here and complain about the pain. You must eat well and move around to stay healthy. The old woman is stunned. Topi, is it really you, Topi? Inside Suana's body, Topi cries out, yes, grandma. The old woman stares in dazed disbelief at her. 2 lines of tears stream down her face. Topi, Topi, thank you for always staying by my side. I will live a healthy life, so you should move on first. When I go there, I will play with you all day. I am sorry and thank you. Using Suana's mouth, the dog replies, he. Grandma, Topi is fine. Take your time. Topi is very good at waiting. Grandma, I love you. Before long, Suana's consciousness suddenly returns to her body. She looks up and finds herself cradled in Raphael's lap. She cries out in shock. He calmly says, you woke up sooner than I expected. How do you feel? Suana sits up abruptly. Her face flushes red as she replies, I am fine, just a bit tired. Raphael sighs. Whenever he is near her, bizarre things happen. He suddenly adopts a serious expression, turning his head to the side with an embarrassed look. I was worried about... The old woman suddenly interrupts. Thanks to you, I was able to say my final farewells to Topi. Thank you so much. Suana replies, oh, it is nothing. Topi must have departed in peace. The old woman smiles. I do not even know how to repay this. Kindness, seeing this, Raphael also breathes a sigh of relief. So she was possessed. Is Suana's ability not just limited to exorcising spirits? On the way back, Raphael repeatedly asks, "Can you move your limbs? How do you feel inside? This has never happened before. How did it end up like this? Did anyone tell you to die? If you smell any foul odors or anything?" "Strange, you must tell me immediately. Is this really you right now?" Suana grinds her teeth as she listens to him. She screams in anger. "My ears are about to fall off. I already told you I am completely normal. I am so tired." "How long do you plan on asking?" He keeps dodging as she swings her hands, which only infuriates her. "Stand still and take a beating for once," Raphael speaks in a low voice. "That is not the point. You said this never happened in your past life. It seems contact with me is the cause, so I am trying to be careful." Suana raises an eyebrow. "Why don't you worry about yourself? You are the one who shivered and claimed to see ghosts unless you held my hand." Caught off guard, Raphael stammers. "Who said I was shivering?" She shrugs and continues. "I thought it was the middle of winter, you know." This time it is his turn to grind his teeth in anger. "Anyone in my shoes would shiver. Speaking of which, aren't you the one who trembles because you hate fire? Why does a saintess who leaps into water without hesitation fear being burned so much? Well, perhaps you have a traumatic past with fire," the moment those words escape his mouth. Raphael realizes he spoke out of turn. Suana's face turns dark. She glares at him. For a moment, then asks in a trembling voice, "You said you did not want to see ghosts, yet you forced someone who hates them to come all the way here." Raphael quickly cries out, "Hey, it was just a slip of the tongue." She continues to press. "Since when do you care about me so much that you make such a fuss with all these questions?" He bows his head. "I am sorry." Seeing this, Suana sighs. She turns away and says, "Forget it. Since it is certain that if you die I will also regress, I have no intention of leaving or secretly running away. Since we have decided to live together anyway, I will hold your hand as long as you want until you actually pass away." Raphael replies sincerely, "I am very grateful for that." Suana flashes a thoughtful smile. "If you are so grateful, how about letting me hit you once or twice from time to time?" "What, you don't like that?" Raphael falls silent. He snorts, then he steps forward and spreads his arms wide. "Go ahead, hit me." Suana rubs her wrists. A smirk plays on her lips as she asks, "You won't go back on your word, right?" With that, she charges forward. She throws a punch straight at Raphael's chest. Then she kicks him in the leg. Raphael is instantly pushed back. His eyes widen and sweat pours down his face. "That hurts. Are you really a saintess?" Suana laughs joyfully. She feels refreshed. Raphael rubs his leg and asks, "So you are no longer angry, right?" Suana replies indifferently, "I don't know. It depends on your performance." Raphael exhales a breath. Her words suddenly echo in his mind. "Since we have decided to live together anyway, I will hold your hand as long as you want until you actually pass away." "Wait, until I actually pass away? Something is strange about that." He quickly runs after her. "Wait, Suana, do you know something about my death?" At the same time, she cries out in alarm, "Raphael, look over there." The two of them step inside the house. Suana gasps in surprise. "Wow, amazing. They actually did what you said. Who would have thought ghosts could clean? Look, they even finished the laundry." Suana collapses onto the sofa in exhaustion. She sighs. "Finally, this place looks fit for humans to live in." Behind Raphael, Thomas, who is wearing a maid outfit, asks, "Hey, landlord, tell that woman that since we cleaned this much, we don't have to pay rent, right?" Raphael asks back in surprise, "Are you guys serious?" Helen, carrying a broom on her shoulder, steps forward. "Go ask her." Raphael clicks his tongue. "Suana, how do you like the cleaning?" She asks in surprise. "Why, did the ghosts tell you to ask?" He nods. "Yes, do you like it?" Suana smiles brightly. "Just liking it is not enough. I absolutely love it. Automated housework is the best." Raphael pauses momentarily. Then he says, "I am glad to hear that." The ghosts behind him gasp in surprise. "Look, he is smiling, but we are the ones who did all the hard work." Seeing Raphael's face suddenly darken, Suana cannot help but feel suspicious. "What is it? Is something wrong?" He turns his head away. "No, nothing." Seeing him sit down beside her, she annoyedly shoves him away because of the tight space. In a corner of the house, Helen is angry at being ignored. Lucy suggests going to see Marquis Vector's mansion making. Thomas asks curiously. Lucy answers, Toy engi noikon tri teach letter 1e9, C letter 1e7, H letter 1e da yeruam letter 1e9 T ko H letter 1e7, U guide stroke letter 1e5y. Emma Ella letter 1e1 and Carol Lern. Oi TR letter 1e Helen Thigh kitch stroke letter 1e9 and GH letter 1e Jaiko. Dai thoi. Thomas Zo a C letter 1e1m. Tin Yero B letter 1e C letter 1e5m Dawn H letter 1e3. Kung Kong PH letter 1e3 IHI letter 1ebf, MG letter 1eb7 PL letter 1efm. And Zo L letter 1e80 T letter 1e and CGI letter 1e3 I Thich. Kong Daoan. H letter 1ecd B letter 1ecb Ape Chiate R letter 1ed3I. Engi Dao Ba H letter 1e7 UT letter 1b0 letter 1edb C Da Dung T I letter 1ec1 and Distroke letter 1ec3. Separate them? Helen's eyes instantly light up. If money is involved, it must be true. Lucy replies sadly, lies, that is not love. Moan. Chimes in, it is true, I saw it myself. The maid was in despair and preferred death. Hearing this, Helen cries out in anger, you just stood there and watched. You should have helped them. Moan mumbles that he was powerless because the young master was sent. Abroad, after listening for a while, Raphael speaks up. Instead of babbling here, why don't you go and see for yourselves? I cannot listen to this. Any more? The ghosts quickly disperse. Suana asks curiously, what were they saying that made you tell them to leave? Raphael exhales. Just some petty gossip. Suana falls into deep thought. After a few seconds of contemplation, she stands up abruptly. They worked hard cleaning the house, we should give them a reward. Raphael asks in surprise, reward ghosts? How? And how do you know they will even return? Suana raises a finger. If I prepare a lavish feast, won't they come crawling back on their own? Internally, she thinks that even if she calls it a sacrificial offering, he probably wouldn't understand. Hearing her words, Raphael bursts out laughing. How ridiculous, I have never heard of ghosts eating food. She shrugs. Oh, but you also saw ghosts cleaning. After a few seconds of silence, Raphael nods. I see, go to sleep now. Your room is on the left upstairs. I will go to the market at dawn to buy some food, so do not worry. Suana asks in surprise, why go alone at dawn? Let's go together in the morning. Raphael shakes his head again, seeing her confusion, he explains. As you know, we were kicked out of a restaurant together. If I go at dawn when there are no customers, they will sell me the leftover ingredients from the day before. Suana says angrily, that is too much. How can they do that? Raphael says calmly, do not be sad. He explains that they avoid him because they fear losing customers due to rumors, but he believes that when I become a count, everything will be fine. Suana calls out in a low voice, Rafa Winters, I am someone who has lived as a low-level Saintess for many lifetimes. No matter what ingredients you bring back, I will cook a dish far superior to what the Count's head chef can make. Just you wait and see, understood? He smiles and replies, I see, I will wait, she nods. Then I am going upstairs first. Remember to prepare a sufficient amount of ingredients. Raphael answers, all right, good night. Not far away, Maxian and Ket freeze as they witness this scene. After a few seconds, they look at each other and smile. Ket says softly, he is grinning from ear to ear. What a wonderful sight, truly. Wonderful. The next day, just as the sun rises, Suana yawns as she walks downstairs. Good morning, seeing no one. Reply, she remembers. Oh, that is right. Raphael said he was going to the market to buy food. She sits on the sofa, her gaze sweeping around the room. As she mutters, I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that ghosts live here. She then asks, is anyone there? Receiving no response, Suana says with a hint of disappointment, well, there is no way. They would answer, how boring. Right then, an idea strikes her. Oh, right, there is always that method, isn't there? Suana takes out a piece of paper and a pen, placing them on the table. After drawing a circle and an X on the paper, Suana begins. The ritual, Ouija board, Ouija. Board, Ouija board, what comes next? From a corner out of Suana's sight, Helen asks in confusion, what the hell is she doing? Meanwhile, Suana still holds the pen, closing her eyes as she recites, Ouija board, come here, ghosts, come here and sit down. Enzo tilts his head, is she calling us? Chloe raises his hand. Hey, let me go. Ket hastily stops the boy. No, it is too dangerous. She senses a highly terrifying aura. Run, quickly. Chloe, the boy cries out in confusion. Huh. At the same time, Enzo's face darkens. What is this smell? Right. After Chloe suddenly coughs up a mouthful of blood, causing Ket to scream in worry, "Chloe!" Almost simultaneously, an evil spirit shrouded in black energy appears right in front of Suana, covering its entire body. Helen suddenly clutches her head and screams as if recalling a painful memory. "It hurts so much. I am sorry, my love." Enzo shows a similar reaction. "No, brother, you traitors." Chloe clings tightly to Ket's arm. It hurts so much." Ket hastily screams, "Everyone gather up and leave." Here immediately, the group quickly scrambles up and flees outside. Unlike them, Suana does not sense anything. She says thoughtfully, it is far too quiet." "Ouija board ghost, are you here? Is this not how it is done?" Before her, the evil spirit speaks. "Yes, I am here. The others are all gone, so only I remain." Suana grips the pen, looking completely dazed. It is not moving at all. Did they go somewhere to play?" With that, she tosses the pen aside. Seeing this, the evil spirit picks up the pen. Suana cries out in excitement, "Wow, it moved. That is so cool. This is my first time succeeding." What is your name?" The evil spirit hesitates. What is my name again?" Seeing it scribble on the paper, Suana asks, "Melissa Willow Yena Elias, that is a very long name. Is that your name?" The evil spirit draws an X on the paper. She utters an O. Seeing X marks drawn over parents and teachers, Suana cannot help but feel annoyed. "Then what is it? Perhaps a lover? Or an enemy? Ha." She suddenly shivers, thinking, why is it suddenly so cold? The evil spirit suddenly lets out a roar, and the glass on the windows instantly shatters. After a moment, Raphael, who has just returned, sees the ruined scene from outside. He gasps in shock. He drops the bag of groceries to the ground. "Suana." Raphael rushes into the house. "Damn it, what the hell is this?" At that moment, Suana's voice echoes in his ears. "Raphael, save me." He quickly runs toward the voice. "Suana, where are you?" The voice replies. "Over here, save me." Raphael lifts the debris. "Suana, are you in here?" His gaze freezes upon seeing her among the ruins. Raphael collapses to his knees. He blames himself. "This is all my fault. If only I had gone with Suana like she said, this would not have happened." He quickly draws a dagger from behind his back and presses it against his throat. "I will return immediately and save you again." As the blade pierces his neck, Suana's words echo in his mind. "You are the one who dragged me all the way here. When I said I did not want to see ghosts, since when do you care about me so much?" He tells himself. "No, this time I will not look for you." Suana suddenly appears behind him. "Not look for what?" Raphael turns around and cries out in a daze. "Suana." She immediately screams, "What the hell are you doing? Put the dagger down this instant." Raphael stammers, "Why, you are alive?" Suana frantically advises, "Calm down and put the dagger down first." After a while, amidst the ruins, Suana pats his shoulder. "No matter how many times I called you, you did not even look back and just ran off. I wondered what was wrong." "What is it? Why are you looking? Did you see a ghost or something?" Raphael sighs. Suana nods. "Yes." He then grabs her hand and speaks sincerely. "When the moment of my death arrives, I will not avoid it. If I return to the past, I will never try to hold on to you again. But holding your hand, I feel as if I can finally breathe. I do not want to die anymore." Suana is momentarily dazed. She quickly laughs it off. "Ahaha, that ghost must have played a trick on you. I am fine, so do not." When he regains his composure, Raphael suddenly grows curious. "By the way, why is the house in such a state?" Suana feels guilty. That. I think they became angry because I conversed with them." Raphael is startled. He demands loudly, "You spoke to ghosts? Why would you do that? You were just possessed not long ago. What if they cling to you because you dare to speak to them recklessly?" Suana subconsciously replies, "I followed the traditional way. It is very safe. I used to do it with my friends all the time. What is the big deal?" Raphael suddenly asks, "The traditional way?" At this moment, Suana realizes she misspoke. She quickly covers her mouth and cries out, "Oops." He speaks in a deep voice. "Does this empire possess a tradition of speaking with ghosts? I have lived for hundreds of lifetimes, yet I have never heard of such a thing. And even if it existed, you have been locked in the attic your entire life. There is no way you could play those games with friends." Suana tries to ignore it. It is not a big deal anyway. But Raphael says, "If it is not a big deal, you should be able to tell me easily." "Suana, who on earth are you?" Thank you for watching today's video. Our story continues with many exciting developments ahead. Therefore, do not forget to like and subscribe to support us and never miss the latest chapters. We wish you moments of relaxation and joy. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.